Alrighty then, we are now live. So, last week, what did we do? What did we find out last week? Somebody has died. And based on the evidence, it currently looks like Kaito. However, one, the Monokuma file doesn't actually say that. Two, we didn't see who it was. We didn't really see who it was. And three, we still haven't seen Kaito or Kokichi. So, this will be probably the most interesting of the, well, not probably, this is going to be the most interesting of the trials. So, I think we're going to find that something is off. Sleeve sticking out of the press. It's definitely Kaito's coat sleeve. Right? You would assume it's Kaito because of you would assume it's Kaito because of the clothes. But the hydraulic press is not working, so we can't find out. So, another clue by the controls. There's an E-stop. Press would have been stopped instantly if you used this. Alright. Safety function. The hydraulic press should have a safety function. If the infrared sensor detects a living thing, the press stops automatically. Didn't stop when Kibo tried before, but Kibo is also a robot. So, I'm thinking, and also the traces of blood, you know. Paint trail of blood leading to the press, a swipe pattern as if dragged from the bathroom. Something was dragged from the bathroom to the press. But are we sure? Car wash for cleaning the exosols. Alright. I don't really see anything else over here. Exosol green. And it's open. Small but big enough for one person. Yep. Alright, Monokuma. The hatch is open? How strange. Only the Monokubs can turn off the electronic lock and open the hatch. The Monokubs can open the hatch? Normally, the Monokubs are the only ones who can pilot the exosols. Normally being the key word. Because of that electrohammer thing and the electronic lock is all screwed up. Have we mentioned this to anyone else? Nope, no one's asked me about it either. And even if I had been asked, it would have been irrelevant information to you anyway. But if you could disable the lock, you can control the exosol. Hatch is electronic lock. Exosol red. It's completely still. Just call a script. If Kokichi is alive, but the remote control Kokichi has for the exosols, what is it exactly? Does he have that because he's the mastermind? Alright, let's talk to Himiko. I don't want to talk to you right now. See, okay, so here's my theory. Kokichi. I think I'm not sure if Kaito's actually dead. But, a couple theories. One, Kaito is not dead, he's hidden and is going to be unable to show up at the trial. And Kokichi made self-unalive happen just to screw around with everybody else. If they really wanted to throw a curveball, make Tsumugi or Himiko the killer, I highly doubt either of those are going to happen. Slightly less of a curveball, but also probably, or more likely, though I still doubt it, is Maki is the killer. But I doubt it, just because like she knows how it's going to end if it if they get the killer wrong. Alright, Tsumugi, what do you have to say? When it comes to this time, barely has any information at all. Yeah, let's review that. Oh, okay then. It's fine, it's fine. A mascot's appearance at the murder scene brings a sense of relief and peace of mind. Not when it's you. Of course I want attention. I'm the mascot, for crying out loud. And yet I've appeared fewer times than that plain Jane Tsumugi over there. It'd be false advertising if I didn't appear as often as I can, you know. So he just... What? So he told us nothing. He just did that because he wants attention. Let's review the Monokuma file, how about? That's a map. Monokuma file 5, can I click? Holy... Oh. Oh, that is the whole Monokuma file. The victim's body was discovered in the hangar where the Exisal is stored. Exisal is singular? I don't know if that's just a translation error or not, but... The victim is crushed by hydraulic press. For this reason, their remains cannot be identified. I don't think the hydraulic press was the cause of death. Because it says the remains have been crushed by a hydraulic press. This is a bathroom, now that I think about it. Oh, I'm locked up in this bathroom, but Kokichi's just outside this door. This is the place where Kaito is imprisoned, yep. Kaito might have left some kind of clue here. Oh no, he didn't leave anything, he might not be dead. Should investigate inside. In before it's locked? Oh, nope, it's unlocked. Crossbow? Crossbow. Oh! And the crossbow's from Maki's lab. What is this here? He snuck it in somehow. Arrows on the floor of the bathroom. 3 in total and blood on all of them. I mean, technically those would be bolts because it's a crossbow. Small bottle in the corner of the bathroom. It's empty. It feels like I've seen this before. It was blood all over it. I can't read it completely, but I can see the word poison. Everybody's just breaking into Shuichi's lab. What the heck? Anything else to investigate? Traces of blood. Blood-stained puddle of blood in the center of the room and a swipe pattern from here to the door. Window. This is, yep, same window from before. Right. Yeah. Oh. That case. Yeah, that case would definitely fit in through the, Okay, so... Okay, well now something's starting to form. I'm guessing... Alright, so let's go with 1 to 2 options. So 2 options. Depending on who died. 1, I mean, obviously there's I don't know if I should say obviously, but yeah. So Maki, I'm gonna say, shoved that in through the window. So Kaito could kill Kokichi, right? Or, and either he succeeded or he didn't. And if he didn't, then it's his body in there and Kokichi's just hiding. If he did, I have no idea why his jacket would be in there and why he hasn't shown up yet. More close than I thought there'd be. Crossbow. I mean, duh, that was in the black case. Why are all three bloodied? Oh, maybe Kaito stabbed himself with poison arrows, and then Kokichi threw him in the hydraulic press. I don't know. Why is that out now? Hatch is open. Why is that's out now? But why is it out now? It was on the thing before. I'm gonna guess it's not Kokichi just because they're trying to push it real hard. Excuse me? Operation panel? What do you mean there are other things? Okay, so I investigated that, went to the bathroom. The painting machine? Related to the case. What am I missing then? Hydraulic press. No, there's blood in the area. Right. Is that everything? What? Press operation panel. I know we already looked at that. Huh? What am I missing here? Because we already examined that, we examined this. Huh? Oh, is it this? No? Where's the thing? Yeah. Wait. Huh? What am I missing? Yeah. Washing machine I already examined. What am I missing? Bit of clothing that I've already examined this. Yeah. What's this? Safe has a single small hole in it. Oh, okay, so that was the thing I was missing. Okay. Trying to leave. Thank you. Alright. There is around the hangar. Alarm system is off. Must still be affected by the electro bomb. Oh yeah, I forgot how sensitive this is. Operation panel. Hit it with an electro hammer, and it was all scratched up. So Kokichi has hi Kibo. So before I went to the hangar this morning, he said, so I went to the hangar last night and tried to talk to him. Tried to talk to him on your own? Sorry, I thought it would be preferable for him to release Kaito peacefully. How did it go? Went about as well as I expected. There was no response at all. But I did witness a few things. You said that you witnessed a few things. What exactly did you see? Yes, since we were in a hurry, I only told you about the exisal returning to the hangar. Yes, you said the exisals could pass through the alarm system and barrier to the hangar. Hi. I never imagined something like this would happen, so I didn't mention it before. But before I saw the exisal, I saw someone headed toward the hangar. Saw someone? I saw Himiko. Oh, Himiko delivered it? Okay. I was in my lab trying to think of what I should write to convince Kokichi. That's when I saw her walk into the hangar, clutching something in her hands. I think it was a black bag. A black bag? So Himiko delivered the crossbow. At the time, I assumed she was going there to examine things or plead with Kokichi. And since she came back later, I didn't think much of it, but after seeing her reaction this morning, I started to get a little suspicious. Well, what did you see? She's acting like she had something to hide. It's not that I want to suspect her. True, it is suspicious. Said you saw her come back as well. Was she holding the bag at that time? Now that I think about it, she didn't. She had her coming in but not leaving. It has to be the black bag Himiko was carrying was... By the way, this is a little off topic, Shuichi, but... What is it? The reason I wasn't feeling well may have been due to the electrobomb. It was because of the electromagnetic particles, not because I'm a robot. So what I experienced was akin to an allergic reaction to hay fever. So it could have affected a human the same way. Being a robot had nothing to do with it. Oh right, that must be it. So the thing Himiko said was bothering him. He really is a bit too sensitive. Kibo's account has been added to truth bullets. Finger shutter. Security alarm. You have to use the alarm remote. Yeah. One was stolen by Makio, and yeah, what happened to the other two? Too far. Okay, let's head back over here. Alright. X is all pink. Oh. Electro hammer. One electro hammer. It's out of power. Used for what? So there were 4 there. Were they protecting him, or were they making sure he didn't go anywhere? Okay, then. Pay attention, listen up, take heed, I say. Monokuma. Just I noticed that you came this way last night, Shuichi. Huh? You were acting all sneaky, weren't you? Like a teenage boy trying to creep into the adult movie section of the video store. Well, you didn't need to sneak around, because the Exizals wouldn't have attacked you. What are you saying? We didn't have to sneak... So everyone's coming to the movies. No way, everyone going there is the same. No, not about that. I meant the Exizals not attacking us. Oh, at the time the Exizals were on autopilot and directed to only observe me. The movements are more limited now that the Monokubs aren't around to pilot them. Autopilot? You mean the remote control that Kokichi has? Yeah, that's pretty much it. So the Exos are being controlled by Kokichi's remote control. And they were focusing on Monokuma. Why are you telling me all this? This puts the person controlling you at a disadvantage. We're not talking about that, we're talking about this. Even if it puts someone at a disadvantage, the class trial must always be fair. The person who shared that info with me didn't seem interested in sharing it with you guys. So you share it instead, that way it'll be fair to all the participants. So someone else besides me knew this. Why did they share this information? Okay, that's all I can tell you. By the way, renting movies is so old school, it's more thrilling to legally download them. Okay then, Monokuma. This information about the Exos could be a clue to solving this case, and I think I forgot to tweet. Yep, I did. This information about the Exos could be a clue to solving this case. I should remember this. Alright. How about... Wait a minute. We gotta get the window too. We gotta observe the window on this side. Bathroom window. Hangar's only window and it's not possible to fit through. The way in is through the shutter. Maki's lab and my lab. The crossbow in the bathroom and the bottle of poison. Yes. I already did that. Alright, so Maki's lab and my lab. Y lab. Y lab is really good. It has a really good, like, MCU style interconnected stories in their webtoons. That I've been enjoying a lot of them. So let's go. Well, Maki's is on the 3rd floor. So we'll go in that way. I mean, we gotta go up anyways, so we'll just head up on the way. Oh, why am I lagging? My computer is not weak. Alright. Can I walk properly? Alright, let's head up. Nope, she's right here. Ultimate Assassin's Lab. Alright, yep. Also, there are less weapons here than I remember. Yep. Well, yeah, oh yeah. Black case. As I suspected, there are 2 black bags here, identical to the one in the hangar. The case is for crossbows. Crossbows are inside but disassembled. Looks like they don't even fit in the case unless they're disassembled. There are 2. When I was here with Kaito before, there were 3. Sure that Kaito didn't have a crossbow. In that case, the crossbow in the hangar must have come from here, which means someone must have brought it from the hangar to here. So, Himiko brought the crossbow for Kaito. Kaito assembled it, and then what? Weapon shelf. Less weapons to remember. Yep. I don't need to go through this whole thing again. Come on. There we go. Arms, obviously those are all fake. Okay, so that's everything here. Now we head up again. I don't like that it resets my up and down look when I'm looking around. And we go this way. past the anthropologist's lab. An angle and a devil. Double. No, not there. Ultimate Detective's Lab. And before Kokichi is here. Okay, I was wrong. Chemicals shelf. Haven't seen any poison outside his lab, so the small bottle of poison I found must have come from here. It's a little less liquid inside this bottle than the others. This is Strike 9 poison. This poison takes some time to spread, but even a small amount of it can be lethal. I can imagine there's a smaller amount of this bottle for no reason. Must be a clue. Alright. Smack all the things. Alright, come on. Small glass bottles. A bunch of bottles on top of the desk. Did someone take them out? These bottles say antidote. On the labels, each bottle's only one dose, and each one only works on a specific poison. I suppose that makes sense. There are plenty of different kinds of poisons, and that must be true for antidotes. Strike 9 poison and antidotes. That is concerning. None of these antidotes are for the Strike 9 poison. They're all for different poisons. What could that mean? Yes. Alrighty then. So I still think I would not be surprised if it's Kokichi that's dead. In fact, I would actually be disappointed if it's not Kokichi that's dead. Because that would just make it turn out exactly how it appears. But this is Danganronpa. This is Danganronpa. It doesn't work that way. Back to the hangar. And yes, I walk everywhere because it increases my level. And the dog is barking. There we go. Alright. There we go. Back to the first floor. Let's see. So we haven't seen Kaito or Kokichi. And now we zoom in. And the dog is barking in the background. I don't actually know if my mic is picking that up. Alright, we will find out. So, we're back in the hangar. Okay, well, no. We gotta go back through here. Alright, let's head back in. Oh, hey, everybody. Oh, Shuichi, can you come with me? Something wrong? Found something strange in the bathroom. Please hurry. What are you talking about, Kibo? Something strange in the bathroom. Evidence to suggest that perhaps somebody that we thought was dead is not... Kibo, what are you looking at? Take a look at this. It's Kokichi's clothes. Soaked and wrinkled, but there's no doubt these are Kokichi's. Where'd you find this? I didn't see it when I was investigating the bathroom. And why are they soaked? Well, the toilet seemed clogged, so I reached my hand down the drain and pulled out these clothes. Looks like they couldn't be flushed all the way. So... Why are these clothes in the toilet in the first place? Yes, it was very brave of me, and thanks to that I managed to find an important clue. Now, Shuichi, please investigate as much as you want. Alright. Kokichi's clothes. Yeah, that makes me think that Kokichi is dead. Okay. Small hole in the back, and another small hole on the sleeve. So they fought and they both died. Alright, if Kokichi was the one who crushed... Alright. I think they're both under the press. Hey, Maki. Is it so easy for you to believe Kaito is dead? Himiko, you and Kibo both look more refreshed now, refreshing each other in the boys' bathroom. It's all Himiko's imagination, but I don't even want to touch that right now. Alright, Tsumugi. Yeah, it's almost time for the class trial to start, right? Was no one able to find Kokichi? I wonder, I haven't heard from anyone. I wonder where he went off to. They're both under that press. Calling it now, they're both under the press. Right, yeah, anyways. Ding dong bang bong. So one of them is, at least one of them is in that press. Kibo to zetsubo, Gakkyū Saiban. So either one of them is gonna show up and is gonna be like, excuse me? Or neither of them is gonna show up and it's gonna be like, excuse me? Neither of them are gonna show up and neither of them are gonna get punished because they're already both dead. But why were Kokichi's clothes in the toilet? So I'm gonna say Kaito's the killer, and I don't know. Alright, this isn't everyone, right? Kaito and Kokichi aren't here, but Kokichi is already there. He's the mastermind of the killing game. He's waiting for us to arrive. We don't know that yet. There's still a chance Kaito's alive. Cut it out. Do you want to die? Maki? This is a battle between hope and despair. If I show any weakness like you are, then I know I'll lose just to despair. 6 of us will participate and 1 of us will die after this class trial. Then only 5 will be left. That's right, we're the only ones left. We can't lose to despair. Even if we have no future, we need to win. That is the whole point of this class trial. Alright, let's just head straight into the trial. Noom. So I was looking through Archie's Discord before I started stream, and he's got an undefined quote for his Archie's live bot. So I That was mildly amusing to me. It's undefined. Undefined. Yep. Win the battle between hope and despair. And now what do? We don't know what hope means to us anymore. What is hope? A burden you bear? As those thoughts pierced my mind, I suddenly stopped. I can't think about things like that anymore. The only thing I need to think about is survival. Yeah. A battle like this takes me back. After all, hope and despair are natural enemies. Yes, this is a truly magnificent theme. Only esteemed works of fiction have themes as magnificent as this. Anyway, where's Kokichi? Why isn't he here? Maki was right. The person who should be here isn't. Well, I'll tell you once the trial starts. What's going on? What are you scheming now? Doesn't matter what Kokichi is scheming. This is the final battle between hope and despair. It all ends here. Kokichi can twist and violate the rules all he likes, but will never do it. Hope will never submit to despair. Well, for the love of... No rules have been violated. Not on my watch, you know. Whatever, hurry up and start. We'll end up with this class trial. We'll defeat the remnants of despair no matter what. So get ready. Yeah, I got it. Now let's get started. Mix equal parts life and death, add a dash of lies and truth, bake it under fires of conflict, and when it's golden brown and bubbling, you have yourself a truly decadent class trial. Alright. Once more I face class trial! They're both dead under there. Is the one who died Kaito or Kokichi? I can't say for certain, but I still believe. Kaito wouldn't die so easily. Don't know why I believe that so strongly. I will fight to prove it. Fight with everyone. Grasp the hope on the other side of this truth. I will fight in this trial of truth and lies. I will save, yes. Chapter 5, save point. Alright, downshift and upshift. I don't need either of those. Okay, stop. In session. And now, basic explanation of the class trial. Why are you still telling us this? Graduation is meaningless here. We already know that. No need any rules anymore. We need our own reasons to live, and we'll do whatever it takes to survive. Wow, an actual talking robot. I've never seen one of those before. What happened to Kokichi? Why isn't he here? Oh, don't make that face, killer. This case has some unique circumstances. Unique circumstances? Because for this murder, the victim's identity is completely unknown. Given these circumstances, I decided to start off this class trial while the victim is still anonymous. After all, it'd be a shame if I let such a rare opportunity go to waste. Is that possible? I thought everyone had to participate in the class trial. Don't worry, the person who's still alive is waiting behind the scenes for their cue. Okay, so one of them is still alive. It's all part of the overall production. Anyway, let's get this trial moving. So we have no choice but to start the trial under these conditions. What's there even to talk about? The Blackened is a mastermind Kokichi. That's the only thing I can think of too. It's too soon to decide anything for certain. We don't even know if Kaito is the victim. How long are you going to say that? The victim is Kaito. End of discussion. We need to be absolutely sure. If we don't positively identify the victim, the person will never show themselves, right? Before we can identify a suspect, we need to determine who the victim was. I'm even talking about something so obvious. What a pain. One thinks that Kaito is a victim, but I have my doubts. There's a chance Kaito is still alive. If discussing the case, I'm sure we'll see the truth. Alright.
被害者は桃田以外に考えられんじゃろ。桃田君は大間君に監禁されてたし、いつでも殺すことができたはずだよ。
He could have killed him whenever he wanted. Hydraulic press had his clothes inside.
大間が被害者なんて根拠は一つもないし、被害者は桃田で決まりだよ。
No evidence? I think not.
犯人が大間君なんだよ。まったく惜しいやつをなくしたわ。沙織君は魔法使いでは使えんのじゃ。
No evidence that allows us to.
被害者は桃田以外に考えられんじゃろ。
Excuse me, I can hit X.
大間君に監禁されてたし、いつでも殺すことができたはずだよ。
Prisoner, yep.
出たのもじゃった。
Yep.
被害者なんて根拠は一つもないし。
Can I?
被害者は桃田で決まりだよ。
Excuse me?
それをやった犯人が大間君なんだ。
I was right clicking. Alright, come on, let me click. Let me click.
被害者だろ。桃田君はされてたし。
Yep.
じゃった。で根拠は一つもないし。
I went between the words. I'm so good at this. I know which one it is, just let me.
被害者だろ。桃田君監禁されてたし。根拠は一つもないし。
Thank you.
それは違うぞ。
It's far too early for me to start flipping out at this.
いや
Alright.
大間君が被害者って根拠ならあるよ。格納庫のトイレからこんなものが見つかった。それは大間の上着では
Yep,
ないか。
Kokichi's coat.
しかも
Look here,
こ
there
の
are
服の
bloodstains on the
背中
sleeve
と袖の部分には
and on
う
the
っすら
back.
と血がに。これって
So it indicated
明
that
らかに
Kokichi
大間
suffered
君
an
が何らか
external
の外
injury,
傷を負った
correct?
証拠だよね。大間君が
Kokichi was injured?
それに
The fact that these
こ
were
の服
flushed
が
down
ト
the
イレに
toilet
流され
implies
て
they're
いたって
evidence
こ
of a
とは
crime.
それがどう
About
し
it,
た
Kaito's clothes are in the
プレス機
hydraulic
に挟
press.
まってたのは桃田の服なんだよ。その
As
証
long as
拠
we
が
have
あ
that
る限
evidence,
り
there's no doubt Kaito
結
was
果
the one
的に
who
桃田が
murdered.
殺されたことに変わりはないよ。
That's right, it's one of those irrefutable evidence thingies. Ever since she found the body in the hangar, Maki's insisted that it's Kaito's. But why is that? I thought we had an understanding. I thought she'd want to believe Kaito is still alive. Anyway, it seems Maki is hung up on Kaito's clothes. In that case, I need to demonstrate the flaw in relying on that evidence. Yep.
実は
Something bothering me about the clothes found in the hydraulic press. Sleeve of the jacket.
そうだ。どうして
Why
桃
was
田君
only
の
the
服は
sleeve sticking out of the
袖だけ
hydraulic
がプレス
press?
機の外にはみ出していたのかな。だって
If
服を
Kaito had
着
been
たまま
crushed
プ
by
レ
the
ス機に
press, the
潰され
sleeve
たら
shouldn't have been empty.
袖だけが袖に通して
Should
い
have
た
been
の
an
で
arm
も
inside the sleeve as well.
それなのに
The fact that we
袖
found
だ
an
け
empty
がプレス
sleeve
機の
should...
外に出ていたってことはその推理殺してもいい。
Huh?
そんな
You're
ことを
dumber than I
わざ
thought
わ
if
ざ
I have to
説
go
明
out of
し
my
なく
way
ち
to
ゃいけない
explain
の
it to you.
その程度のこ
You
と
can't
に
even
気づ
see
けない
that,
な
then
ら
be
黙っ
quiet,
てて。
otherwise you're just annoying me. Alright. Hydraulic press.
袖だけがプレス機からはみ出してたのはむしろ当たり前なんだよ。潰されたのが他のやつならともかく
Well,
桃田の場合
yeah.
よね。そんなこともわからないなんて。あんたは桃田の何を見てたの？
Like, yeah, we know it's Kaito's
桃
sleeve.
田君の何を見ていたってどういう意味？あいつはいつも服を変な風に着ていた。上着の袖に腕を通してなかったんだよ。だからプレス機に潰された時に
Yeah, Chris crushed
袖だ
him.
けがプレス機の外にはみ出したんだよ。分かったらもう黙ってて。あんたは邪魔なんだよ。あいつはいつも服を変な風に着ていた。上着の袖に腕を通してなかったんだよ。
No, that's wrong. Okay.
しまった。
Oh, yeah. The blood
あいつはい
stain
つも
on
服を変
the
な風に着ていた。上着の袖に腕を通してなかったんだよ。
Nope. Come on, what is it?
くそ。
She's only given me one thing to
あいつはいつも服を変な風に着ていた。上着の袖に腕を通してなかったんだよ。
That's not it. Okay then. Do I need to go back?
あいつはいつも服を変な風に着ていた。上着の袖に腕を通してなかったんだよ。だからプレス機に潰された時に袖だけがプレス機の外にはみ出したんだよ。分かったらもう黙ってて。あんたは邪魔なんだよ。あいつはいつも服を変な風に着ていた。上着の袖に腕を通してなかったんだよ。だからプレス機に潰された時に袖だけがプレス機の外にはみ出したんだよ。分かったらもう黙ってて。あんたは邪魔なんだよ。
Okay. Can I
あいつは
refute
い
it
つも
with
服を
hydraulic
変な風
press?
に着ていた。上着の袖に腕を通してなかったんだよ。
No? Okay then.
しまった。
I think I need to go back one.
あいつはいつも服を変な風に着ていた。上着の袖に腕を通してなかったんだよ。 その言葉、切ってみせる。
How did I not see that one before? What the heck?
確かに桃太くんはいつも服の袖に腕を通していなかったけど。
Yes, it's true. Kaito never put his arm through his sleeve.
それは右
That
腕
was
だ
just
け
his
で、
right arm. He wore
左
his
腕は
left sleeve
ちゃん
normally.
と袖に腕を通していたはずだ。でも
His left sleeve was the one we found outside the press. Well, how can you really
左
tell
の
that's
袖
the
の
left
方だっ
sleeve?
た。だとすると、
Knowing how Kaito
あの
wears
袖
coat,
が
that's
はみ
awful
出していたの
strange,
は
isn't it?
やっぱり不自然だよ。
How do we know that's his
じゃあ
left
その
sleeve?
時だけたまたま
And
両
maybe
方の
neither
袖
of
に
his
腕を
arms
通
are
し
through
て
the
なかっ
sleeves.
た。
Heh.
そう考
It's
え
a
ることだって
possibility.
で
In
き
the end,
る。
your reasoning is full of holes.
結局
Well, isn't yours too?
いい加減もう邪魔しないで。 でも
It's like Maki said, though, Kaito's gotta be the victim.
だって
I feel like they all had a plan
この
that
殺
Shuichi was
し合いだっ
not
て続いているわけがない
let
し。
in
確かにそうじゃ。
モノクマ、もう被害者。
いいえ、
Hmm.
ここが
はいはいわかっ。よー皆さんいらっしゃい。
It's not gonna be Kokichi. Calling it now, it's not gonna be Kokichi. Exisal? Why is an Exisal here?
ああ、悪い悪い。驚かせちまったみてえだな。
See? I told you.
その声。いろいろあって、
There's a lot going
が
on,
え
so I
ぐい
just
シャル
hidden
の
in
中
an
に
Exisal
隠
and
れて
kinda
たんだが、
dozed off.
いつの間にか寝ちまったみたいだな。
That sounds like bullcrap.
すっかり遅れちまったぜ。あ、で、今はどんな状況だ？
ちょっと待ってよ。じゃあ死んだのは桃太くんじゃなくて。
わーが嘘だよ
Oh, okay, but
ー本気で俺が死んだと思った
okay, no, yeah, yeah, okay.
俺は死にませんみんなを愛しているから
That's not what he said in Japanese.
だが古いぞ。お主はいくつじゃ。
そんなことだろうと思ったけど。
西氏俺のためにそんなに怒ってくれるなんてちょっと照れ
本当に大間くんなのか。
当たり前だのクラッカーだよ
Atarimae no cracker, huh? What
だ
is
か
that?
らいくつじゃ。
だったらどうしてエグい猿に乗ったままなんだ。
なあこれは自己防衛ってやつだよ生身だと誰かさんに殺されちゃうからねでもみんなの気持ちはわかるよこの姿西氏そう思って
In that case, I
ちゃん
brought
と
evidence.
証拠じゃーん このビデオ
Video
例のごとく
camera was in the
倉庫にあっ
warehouse,
たや
but
つ
I
なんだけど
brought it to the
何かあっ
hangar
た時
just in
の
case.
いやー大正解だったよ。おかげで被害者が死ぬ瞬間をね。というわけで早速その証拠ねえモノクマこのビデオ
The courtroom's monitor played the tape for us. A tape? I don't think it's actually a tape. Nah, he's already dead at that point.
Momota-kun. ひどいよ。どうしてこんなこと。見てしまった。
ちなみに言っておくけど今の映像は
This
完
footage has
全
not
ノ
been
ーカット
doctored
無
in
修
any
正版だ
way.
からね。そもそもこ
No.
のビデオカメラってかなり簡易的な機能しかなくて
Kokichi somehow got Kaito to kill himself and recorded that as a way to get them to vote for him and then be like, huh, psych, it was actually Kaito that killed himself.
再生ボタンと録画ボタンともちろん動画をパソコンにとねえモノクマン答えてもいいよ今のは。
なるほど公平確かに学園内
ほらねカメラをつまり
Right.
今の映像は
True. However,
格納庫のプレス機で潰された
one video has been recorded in the monopod mute for Alright.
このプレス機の下でやめてよ。それは冗談でもやめて。
Why is Kaito killed? Kokichi had no reason to kill Kaito, he just told us that he was the mastermind that the killing game was over. Game by killing.
ようやくしえなんで
被害者が死ぬ
Film the
瞬間を
moment the
撮
victim
影してい
died,
た
which
とい
means
う
you're
こと
present at the scene. As the person who filmed this footage, you're the only one who could be the culprit.
でも
But if the culprit shot the video, why would they go out of the way to show it? Oh man, you got me. Yeah, I'm the culprit. He's lying.
いやー墓穴墓穴実は今回の裁判にエグい猿として参加するのは桃とちゃんを殺すときにもう決めてたんだよね。もちろん
This was mostly to make the victim unknown to jazz up this trial. Took that footage for proof so I could reveal it later after you guys got the correct answer.
うっかりしてたよ。それを先に見せちゃったらダメだったよね。
その告白って
あちゃーまたしても墓穴墓穴まここか
Nah.
らもういいや。
諦めるという
No.
そうなるとも
Nope.
う投票
Nope.
タイム
Nope. Nope.
いいんだ
Nope.
ただ
You're not.
投票タイムいくらあ
I'm
ん
the
たが首
mastermind,
謀
but
者
I
だ
won't
か
let
ら
you escape after you violated the
それは
rules.
殺
That
し
would
合いゲーム
desecrate
を
the
作
killing
った
game
江ノ
Junko
島
and
純子
Shima
への冒
created,
涜
right?
にもあんたが大好
Your
きな
beloved
江ノ島
Inko
純子へのね
Junko.
江ノ島
Junko?
とにかく投票タイムじゃな
ちょっと待っていくらなんでもおかしいよ容疑者が
The
遅れて
culprit
現
comes in,
れて
confesses
す
to the
ぐ
crime,
に
and the
罪を
trial
認めて
ends.
そんなの
That's not how
ゲ
this
ームにす
goes.
らな大間くん
It
やモ
doesn't
ノク
sound
マ
like the kind of game
江ノ島
Kokichi or
純子がこだ
Monokuma
わ
or
っていた
Junko
ゲ
would
ーム
play.
に
首謀者自身が
What
ゲ
if
ー
the
ムに飽
mastermind
きた
got
って
tired
こ
of it?
と
The
でしょ
remnants of despair were like that.
いや
No, if they were
飽き
tired
て
of
い
it,
る
they
なら
wouldn't have put all that
わざ
effort
わ
into
ざ
the
あんな
video.
映像を撮影したりはしないそれに
There would have
本
been
当
no
に飽
need
き
for
てい
this
るなら
class trial in the
こ
first
のか
place.
やっぱり
Something's not right. We need
何
to
か
get
不
a better
自然
feel
だ
for this
大
situation.
間くんには
I think Kokichi has some sort of plan. He's trying to trap us.
罠って
Saying Kokichi isn't the culprit?
大間がだったら
You suggesting one of us is the culprit?
確かに
If it's not Kokichi, then the culprit must be one of
う
us.
ちらの中そんなのありえないよ
僕はそこまで言ってないただねしし
Shuichi is so
でも
distrusting.
サイハラちゃんの言う通りなのでした実は俺は犯人じゃないのです
何を言っているんです
さっきのは嘘だからね
You
ごめんね
expect him to not lie? Then you're a fool.
今回の真犯人は偽装がお粗
The
末だったか
culprit
ら
is super bad at hiding
ちょっ
themselves,
と
so I
手伝
thought
ってあ
I
げよ
could
う
help.
それで俺があの映像で犯人を装って
それ本気で言ってるの何が 大丈夫だよ。あいつが桃田を殺した。いくらごまか、さっきの映像がそれを物語ってる。
No, that the hydraulic press has that safety option. No.
犯人は大間で間違いないよ。さっきの映像を見たでしょ。
桃田がプレスして殺された瞬間のあの黒い映像
Safety
だな。
function.
あんな犯行が可能なのは桃田君と一緒に格納庫にいた人物です。
Right?
そんなの大間しかいないじゃん。じゃあやっぱり犯人は
Culprit
殺し合いの首
is
謀者でもある大間
Kokichi Omane. No, it's not
あいつが
Kokichi.
桃田を殺したんだよ。
And as much as I like Maki, she's being
犯
extremely
人は大間で
stubborn
間
right
違い
now.
ないよ。さっきの映像を見たでしょ。
桃田がプレスして殺された瞬間の
Safety
それは
function.
違うぞ。
Surprise!
桃田君をプレス機で
Safety
殺すの
function
は無
make it
理だよ。
impossible to kill Kaito with the
Date.
press.
あのプレス機には安全装置がついていたんだよ。
安全装置。
ええ
Yes, it was written on the safety precautions. The hydraulic press will automatically stop if its infrared sensor detects a living
自動で
organism.
停止する。
じゃあ
So the hydraulic press wouldn't move at all if there's a living person
プレ
underneath
ス
it?
機は動かないの？
だから
Which is why
あ
it
の
couldn't have
プレ
been
ス
used
機
to
で
kill
桃田君
Kaito.
を殺すのは無理なんだ。
But how can infrared detect if something is alive or not?
というこ
Which
とは
means it's more likely that Kaito was crushed after being killed by some other means. Like, oh, I don't know, the, stab wound on his arm and the fact that there's,
さっき見た
poison
映像の時
in the bathroom.
すでにあやつは死んでおったということか。
でも安全装置が赤
You
外
could
線セ
disable
ン
the
サーで
infrared
感知して
sensor
るな
of
ら
the safety
エ
function
レク
with
ト
an
ボムで
electro
センサー
bomb.
を無効
Well,
化す
that
れば
would
いい。
disable the whole thing.
いや、プレス機を動かすためだけに大間君がエレクトボムを使ったと。そんなことをしたら
Wouldn't take down the hangar's
格納庫の
alarm
警報
system
装
and
置
the
も無
Exosel's
効化する
remote
し、
control.
えぐい猿。
大間君にとっては
Would have put Kokichi at a significant
やらな
disadvantage.
いとは言い切れない
But
けど
you
ね。
can't be too sure I wouldn't do that. I'm the type who would do anything for fun.
それに
Also, we don't have any evidence of the different murder method than the hydraulic
根
press.
拠ならあるよ。
Now we do. I have a plausible theory for the murder.
え
She didn't even go in the bathroom. This one.
これだ。
Like, why would there be a
格
bloodstain
納庫には何
between
かを引
the
きずったよう
bathroom
な
and the
血痕が
press
うっ
if
すらと残
he
っていた
wasn't
んだ。
dragged? Mm-hmm.
そしてその血痕はトイレからプレス機まで続いていた。
It's from the bathroom all the way to the press.
トイレって言えば
Mm-hmm.
桃田くんが閉じ込め。
しかも
Bloodstains were also found inside the bathroom. That can't be coincidence.
では
So Kaito was
桃
killed
田
in
が
the
トイレで殺
bathroom
された後、
and then dragged to the press and crushed.
血痕が桃田
And the
のものだ
bloodstain
と
was
した
even
ら
Kaito's.
桃田がトイ
I'm
レで
gonna
殺
guess
さ
that
れたって
Kaito
いう
was killed in the bathroom.
死体が
Since his
潰
body
さ
was
れた今
crushed,
と
we'll
なって
never know
は
if Kaito died some
桃
other
田
way.
に
You have evidence to suggest the cause of death. That.
ここだ。
The hole in his sleeve.
桃田君の制
Small
服の
hole in the
袖に
sleeve
開い
of
ていた
Kaito's
小さ
coat
な
is
穴
the。key to his cause of death.
いや
No, no, no. There's no way that hole's got anything to do with a
凶
weapon.
器なわけない。そのありえんことを言うやつには買った服が必ずセール品になる魔法
Wow,
を
that's
かける
actually really cruel. That's a cruel curse. that is a cruel and dirty curse.
夢のさ。
Why are you freaking out all of a sudden?
慌てて
I'm
な
not
らない。
freaking
うち
out.
はただ
It's impossible for the weapon to be that small. Surprise! 3 arrows. Here's in the bathroom. What?
しまった。
How the what? Okay, fine. The crossbow.
これだ。
Can't use the
トイレ
arrows
に
for
落ち
that.
てい
That's
た
dumb.
クロスボウじゃ。
Mm-hmm.
確かに
Crossbow arrow would certainly leave a hole that small.
ということは
We then conclude Kaito was shot with that crossbow.
つまり
So the crossbow might just be the actual murder
桃田
weapon
君を
used to
殺し
kill
た本当
Kaito.
の凶器という可能性も。
なるほどな。
So surprising that crossbow was a murder weapon.
夢野さん。
トイレに行きたいだけ
She
でしょ。
probably needs a pee. Anyway, about Kaito
桃
getting
田ちゃんが
shot.
撃たれたけそれが彼
That
の
was the
死
cause
因
of
だと
death, and I
する
wonder
と
who shot him with the
誰が
crossbow.
彼をって実は
I
俺は
already
知って
know,
るん
but
だ
I
けど
won't
ね。
tell you.
完全に。
It's just playing with us.
ですが
Let's show him that playtime is over.
希望が峰学園の生徒として
希望絶望
Alright. Bathroom window, hangers,
桃
front
田ちゃんをクロ
shutter.
スボウで撃ったのって
Wonder who
誰なんだ
shot-
ろうね。
君以外に誰がいるんですか？
桃田をクロスボウで撃つには
Shot would need to be fired from inside the hangar to hit Kaito.
うちらは格納庫には入れなかったんじゃ。警報装置と電子バリアがあったからの。
私たちが格納庫に入れない
Couldn't
な
go in
ら
the hangar.
中にいた大間くんだと
Kichi
し
had
か考
been
え
in
ら
there,
れ
and
ない
then he
よ。
must have been the one.
へえ、じゃあ俺が犯人なんだね。桃田ちゃんをクロスボウで撃ったのって
Who shot
誰なんだろうね。
君以外に誰がいるんですか？
桃田をクロスボウで撃つには格納庫に入らないと無理なんだよ。
There we go.
それは違
That
う
was
の。
just a guess. I was like, oh, well,
いや
Without going in the hangar, it's possible to land a shot with
中
the
にいた
crossbow.
人をクロスボウで撃つのは可能だよ。格納庫の
There
ト
was
イ
a
レに
window
は
in the bathroom of
窓
the
があっ
hangar.
た。あそこからの侵
Maybe
入
it
は
wasn't
不可
possible
能
to
だ
get
と
in,
し
but
て
you
も
could have shot through the window.
しかも
Remember that Kaito was confined to the
換気
bathroom.
なるほどね。
So if they shot Kaito through the window, they could have killed him in the hangar.
俺以外の5人にも
Which means the murder suspect list grows to 6 people, including me. What did you say?
でも
But put plainly, that means... Seems Shuichi wants to make one of us the culprit, is that it?
それが
Is
探
that what a
偵なの。
detective does?
仲間だろ
Your
うと。
detectives always accuse people even when they're friends.
まあそうなん
Seems
だろう
like it. You
ね。
suspected Kaito in the
前の
previous
学
class
級
trial too.
あんたは常に仲間を疑い。
Okay, Maki, calm down.
どうしたのハル。当たり前じゃん。みんなで絶望の残党を倒そうってと。
違うよ。僕は邪魔なんて。
あんたにいくら邪魔されても私は必ずここ絶望なんかに。
まあまあつまらない喧嘩なんかしてないで。で、俺以外の全員に
それはそうかもしれんが。
そんなことは聞いていない。
夢野さん。
Himiko is lying,
お
obviously.
主もうちの小さい穴を狙っておるのか。
ほら絶対おかしいよ。
でもさ、この場の全員そもそもクロスボウの存在を知って
うちはクロスボウの存在など知らんかったぞ。つまりうちは怪しくなどない。怪しまれる根拠など何一つ。
ですが、夢野さんが
It does
昨日の
concern
夜
me that Himiko went to the hangar last night.
そうなの？夢野ちゃん、格納庫に行ってたの？
ええ、僕は確か
見てた。
昨日の夜に格納庫に行ってたなんて。じゃあ犯人は夢野ちゃんの決まりかな？
No. You can't just jump on that immediately.
なぜそうなるんじゃ。
What?
うちよりもはるかの方が怪しいはずじゃぞ。
はあ。
そのクロスボウがあったのはどうせハルタワの研究教室なんじゃろ。だったらハルタワならそのクロスボウをいつ。
研究教室。
Anyone could have gone to a research lab, though. She's not the only
それは
suspect.
そうじゃろな。
She's definitely the most suspicious. Don't get on her bad side.
怖い顔で過ごんだところで。
ひるんだら犯人っ
Start
てバレちゃ
panicking,
うか
then
ら
we'll
ね。
know you're the culprit.
だから違うと言っておるじゃろ。そもそも怪しいのは大間じゃ。
なんで私が容疑者なの。
俺が怪しいのは認めるよ。
Ah, split.
俺が犯人
で
ね。
はない。
I'm still gonna stick to Kaito stabbed himself.
うちは格
格納庫にいた
納庫に
俺が一番怪しいよね。
君が犯人
クロスボウだけじゃ。
クロスボウはどうしたんですか？
あの辺は
And the crossbow.
だから
怪しいのは俺だよ。
If they're empty-handed, that is false.
なんだよ。
うちは格
この子にい
納庫がいい
た俺が一番怪しいよね。
It's a hanger, but
見ただけじゃ
I'm replenishing my magic.
魔力の補給って
What
ど
do
う
you
い
mean
う意味
replenishing your magic?
あの辺は広いマスが忘れるんだ
入れるもんね。
だから手ぶらで
怪しいのは俺だよ。
大間
手ぶらで
が
帰ってきただけなんじゃ
なんだよ。
Okay then.
うちは格納庫
この子にい
がいいや
た俺が一番怪しいよ
Can
ね。
I click? Thank you.
魔力を補給しに行っただけじゃ
Yep, 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 yep.
魔力の
Come
補給
on.
ってどういう意味？
Explain the crossbow. I just gotta.
マスが忘れる入れるもんねだから手ぶらで
怪しいのは俺だよ。
Can I click?
大間が
帰ってきただけなんじゃ
It wasn't clicking. It wasn't clicking.
この子にいた俺が一番怪しいよね。
Yeah, yeah,
魔
yeah.
力を補給しに行っただけじゃ
All right, come
魔
on.
力しか持ち出せないどういう意味？
あの辺は広い
All
マス
right,
が
all
忘れ
right,
る
come on.
だから手ぶらで
怪しいのは俺だよ。
Can I click properly?
手ぶら
Ah,
で帰ってき
Mr.
ただけなんじゃ
なんだよ。
Right, yep, yep, yep.
怪しいのは俺だよ。
That's such garbage.
俺が桃田ちゃんを撃ったんだよ。
And why did that move over? That's such garbage. I clearly was hitting that well before that.
だから
怪しい。
Jeez. I hate having to use focus. Because it's dumb that that's required.
夢野さん、手ぶらで格納庫に行ったっていうのは嘘だよね。
何を言うんじゃ
でも
Keep
Kiba-kun
aside.
昨日の夜、
Said you were heading to the hangar carrying a large black bag.
ええ
Himiko was definitely carrying a large black
違
bag.
うそれはきっと
It's maybe we've already established that. That was like ages ago. We established that.
夢野さん、これのことだよね。
それクロスボウのケース。
間違いありません
No mistake. That is the bag that I saw Himiko carrying.
ちょっと待って。
ああ。
No, we know she didn't fire it.
うちはあれを運んだだけで本当じゃ
そうだね。信じるよ。
ダメ主に擁護されると逆に
Yeah, she was freaking out because she didn't want anybody to know she brought the crossbow there because it would make her look suspicious. Crossbow.
うちは犯人ではないんじゃ
それは本当だと
Yeah, I
思う。
totally agree. Yeah, well,
うちはあのケースを運んだだけじゃ
ああ
Only
そ
carried
れ
the
も本当
case.
だね。
Kokichi's telling the truth so
使って
far.
おらんし
うんうん。これまた本当だよ。
格納庫では他に何もしておらんぞ
Excuse me? Walmart of truth.
くそ
Okay, no.
うち
Yeah,
は
I
犯
used
人
it.
ではないんじゃ
I used it on the wrong one.
それは本当だと思う。
うちはあのケースを運んだだけじゃ
Carried the case.
ああ
Yes, we
それも
know.
本当だね。
クロスボウなど使っておらんし
There we go. Oh, I was gonna flip out if that missed because it was moving.
夢野さんがクロスボウを使っていないのは本当だと思う。というより、使えなかったはずなんだ。
She couldn't use it.
使えなかったって
あのケースに入ってい
Crossbow
るの
inside
は
this case was
分解さ
disassembled.
れ僕と桃田
Kaito
君
and I
は
learned how to
春
assemble the
川さんに
crossbow
組み
from
立て
Maki,
方
so
を
we could
教わ
have
った
done it.
組み立て方を
I
教
don't
わっ
believe
てい
someone
ない人
without
が
the
あ
proper
れ
training
を
could
組
have
み立
assembled.
てるのは。
じゃあさ。
Well, what if Maki taught
実は
Himiko how to
夢野ちゃんも
assemble the crossbow?
うちは教わ
You
って
didn't teach me
お
that,
らん
right,
ぞ
Maki?
どう
What's
した
wrong? Are
ん
you
だ
mad about before? Yes. thought they were gonna suspect me, so I lied.
だからって
I have to question your morals if you're blaming Maki for your lie, Himiko. I think you're allowed to say something like that.
はるかはよ許してくれんか
Hmm.
頼む
分かってるよ。夢野には
I
クロ
didn't
スボ
teach
ウの
Himiko
組み
how to
立て方
assemble
な
a
んて教
crossbow.
えて
She
ない
couldn't have used it. Besides, she's too weak to do it anyway.
うちを疑った連中は
凄まじい変わり身の
ですが
Alright. Why did you bring the crossbow to the hangar, Himiko?
それは
Was asked to by whomst? Kaito?
そうだ。それって
Is it Kaito?
格納庫
Only
にクロス
Kaito
ボウ
or
を運ぶ
Kokichi
こ
would
と
have
を
asked
頼
for
む
a
なんて
crossbow to be brought
そ
to
の
the
場にい
hangar.
た桃田くんなら
Because Kaito knows how to
組み立て方を
assemble the
教わっている
crossbow,
か
he
ら
certainly could have used it.
だとすると
Knowing that, I can't imagine anyone else would have asked Himiko.
さすがに
I do not think she would bring it at Kokichi's request.
当
Of
然
course
じゃ
not. Why would I ever listen to
俺のことが好
Kokichi?
きなくせに
Because I know you like me.
好きなわけないだろ
I hate you.
俺は好きだけどね
ちょっと夢野さんの
I think Kaito asked Himiko to do that. Maybe Kaito was trying to keep the promise we made yesterday. There's something about all this. That's a promise.
ですがどうして夢野さ
Why
ん
are you
に
keeping that a secret? Well, Kaito sort of asked me to keep it a secret.
桃田が死ん
And
で
Kaito died and I got scared. I thought it was
だ
gonna
から
be
って
next.
はるかわちゃんに罪をなすりつけはるかわちゃん
Okay, now.
この頭の悪い猿に人間の恐ろし
好きな子いじめはやめ
夢野さん
それより夢野さんは
When
いつ桃田
exactly
くん
did
にそれ
Kaito
を
ask
頼ま
you
れ
to do this?
え
It was around evening
ト
yesterday.
マトの対決が迫ってこうしたらあの窓
Huh?
驚いてちびったうちにあいつは
クロスボウを頼んだ
Wait.
ってことは
Hmm?
桃田くん
いや
So you just
大間を
casually,
脅かするだ
you
けだ
know,
と言っておったぞ
walk into the hangar.
さすがに殺す気ならうちもうちはその桃田の
僕が夢野さんを目
Then I witnessed Himiko, and then why did Kaito... What did Kaito do after he had the crossbow?
それ以降のこと
Just handed him the crossbow and then went back to the
お
dorms.
そらく大間君に
Then
反撃
who
しよう
brought
と
the
したところで
poison?
そのク
Kaito
ロス
tried
ボ
to
ウを
attack
大間
Kokichi
君
only
に
to
奪
be
われ
disarmed.
逆に
Crossbow, and then Kokichi returned fire to shot Kaito.
いやク
No.
ロスボウを撃ったのは大間くんだけじゃ
No,
な
it
いよ
happened a little differently. Both Kaito and Kokichi shot the crossbow. There's proof of that. 3 arrows. Alright, the... Not Kaito's coat, but... Kokichi's clothes.
これだ
There we go.
ほら
Remember the one we
トイレから
found
見つかった
Kokichi's
大間
clothes?
くんの服には
There were holes
背
in the
中
back
と
and
袖
sleeve.
しかも
Same kind of hole that was found on Kaito's coat.
大間の
So
クロスボウ
Kokichi
に
was
撃
shot
た
by
れ
the
たのか
crossbow too?
撃ったのは
Then it was Kaito who shot him, right?
どうだった
I'm
か
not sure. I don't remember anything like
クロ
that.
スボウで撃たれてるの
I don't
に
remember whether or not you were shot.
二人がクロスボウで撃ち合っ
No
たの
doubt they
は
shot
間違
each
いあ
other
りま
with
せ
the
ん
crossbow, but
なんだっていい
it doesn't matter.
途中で
Doesn't
何
matter
が
what
あった
happened
か
in
なんて
between.
関
In the
係
end,
ない
Kokichi killed
結
Kaito.
果
Maki's been acting strangely.
だが
Maybe Maki's right. It doesn't matter what happened in the middle.
最終的
'Cause in the
に
end, there's no mistake that Kokichi killed
だ
Kaito.
からさっさと投票
いやまだ早いよ
Still mysteries.
謎なんてど
Who
う
cares
でもい
about
い
that? We already know who the
犯
culprit
人はもう
is.
本当にそうかな
なんじゃいきなり口を
学級裁判を
As the one
運営
running
す
this
る
trial,
身としては
bothers me when anyone
謎が
says
どう
mysteries
でもい
don't
いとか言
matter.
うそれだと
It
盛り上が
affects
り
the
に
overall
欠けるん
entertainment
だ
value, so I encourage you to
だから
really
もう
think
少
about
し
things.
どうでもよくない謎だって
After
あ
all,
る
there
は
should be
ず
some
だよ
mysteries that still
例え
matter.
ばそのエ
For
グい猿
example,
の
is
中にいる
Kokichi
のは
really
本当
inside
に
that
大間
exisal?
くんなの
Stuff
か
like that.
は
何言ってんの
I'm just saying, we
そ
already
の
finished
話は
that
とっくに
discussion
終
a
わったん
while
だけど
ago.
大間が生きているのは間違い
Kokichi's
な
gotta
い
still be alive since the
殺
killing
し合い
game's
だっ
still
て
going.
あのエグい
His
猿から
voice is
聞
even
こえ
coming
る
from the
声も
exisal and
大
everything.
間のも
でもさっ
But
き
we
は
heard
桃
it
田
speak in
君の
Kaito's
声
voice
だって
earlier,
聞こえ
didn't we?
た
ああ声なんて
Yeah,
当て
don't
に
rely
な
on
ら
that.
ねえ
After
よ
all, this exisal
こ
has a
の
voice
エグい猿に
changer.
はボイスチェンジャーがあるからな
Yet what?
おかげで
Because of that, nobody
こうして大間の
realizes
ふりを
I'm
しても
pretending to be
誰も気づかね
Kokichi.
えわけだがそれも終わ
But
りだ
no more. Sorry for the wait, guys. Luminary of the Stars has arrived, this time for real.
こっからが本番だぜ。
なんじゃ
Nah, it's...
だから俺は桃田なんだよ。今までは
It was Kokichi pretending to be Kaito pretending to be Kokichi.
まあちょっと事情があってな、こうするしかなかったんだ。つうわけで今まで騙して悪かったな。
Why are you so quick to believe that?
いつまであんな奴の嘘に騙されてるの。あれは
It's Kokichi pretending to be
ど
Kaito.
うしたんだよ春巻。俺の言うことが信じられ。
あんたがその名前で私を呼ぶな。
おいおい、マジで俺のことを大間だと思ってんのかよ。
This is shaping up to be pretty interesting.
仕方ねえかもしれねえけどよ。
Now they're both dead.
なぜですか？
大間にやられた怪我のせいで動け立つのもままならねえんだ。けどこのまま手こうなれば仕方ねえ。
僕？
死んだのは俺じゃねえってことを。
I think they're both dead. I'm curious what would have happened if I said Kokichi.
おい、どうさっさと死んだのは俺。
いや、やっぱりだって桃田くんはもう死んだんだ。
絶望は知りません。うぷぷ。
This is already more entertaining. Now, the Ultimate Academy is proud to present its very own more phenomenal trial grounds. Let's give it everything we've got. Split opinion, oh boy. I do like the Split Opinion soundtrack. Are they gonna raise the X's too? Oh, we don't even get to see if they raise the X's all. Kokichi, it's Kaito.
僕はエグイサルの中身は桃田くんだと思います。
怪我のせいでエグイサルから出られんと言っておるぞ。
桃田くんじゃなくて大間くんがプレスされた可能性はないの？
春川さん、
There we
映
go.
像を見たでしょ。プレス
Kaito
さ
was
れ
in
た
and
のは
got
桃田だよ。
crushed. And as far as I'm
大間くんの上
aware,
着には矢の傷が残っていたんですよ。
僕が矢の傷なら桃田くんの服にも残っていたよ。
桃田が首謀者を。
春川さん、
首謀者は生きてる。そのエグイサルの中でね。どうしてそんなに桃田くんが生きてる可能性を否定する？
僕が今ある証拠じゃ桃田くんが生きてる根拠にはならないんだ。
僕はエグイサルの中。
Kaito is still inside the Exazol. Kaito is dead.
僕はエグイサルの中身は桃田くんだと思います。
僕がエグイサルから出てこない以上
エグイサル
は確認のしようがないよ。
怪我のせいでエグイサルから出られんと言っておるぞ。
春川さん、
そんなの
There we go.
桃田の怪我を知ってれば誰にでも言える。桃田くんじゃなくて大間くんがプレスされた。
春川さん、
映像を見
Crushed
たでしょ。
arrow
プ
holes.
レスされたのは
Mastermind
桃田
alive.
だよ。
大間くんの上。
僕が矢の傷なら
No.
桃田くんの服にも残っていたよ。
桃田
春川さん、
首謀者は生きてる。そのエグイサルの中でね。どうしてそう？
僕が今ある証拠じゃ
Cause
桃田
yeah,
くんが
so
生きてる根拠にはならないんだ。
could be they're both dead.
This これが私たちの答えだ。
All right.
僕は信じたくない。未だに信じられないけど。でも今ある
Evidence
証
shows
拠
that
から
Kaito
考
must
え
be
る
the
か
one who died.
怪しいけどさ。
I hate it, but it's a truth.
そうですか。
If that's a conclusion you've arrived at, Shuichi, then there must be no
じゃ
mistake.
あ
And the one here is...
ちっと悪ふざけが過ぎちまったみてえだな。
Looks like I messed around too much. Like...
ごめんごめん。今のはちょっとした冗談だよ。
うざいな。
趣味な冗談じゃ。
やっぱりクソ野郎だね。
許せないのは僕も同じ気持ちだけど。
We still need to stay calm and be rational because we need to get to the truth of Kaito's death.
その通りだよ。冷静にね。なぜお主が言う。そしてどこがれ。
話がそれてしま
Back
い
on
ました
topic, why don't we examine the crossbow a little more
今のよう
closely?
な嘘で
I
惑
think
わ
we
せ
need to
ない
get all the facts straight so we don't fall for any more lies.
私もそう思うけど。
Really, but what do you think, Maki?
別に
Fine.
じゃあ早速考えて
Okay,
みよう。
let's discuss that then.
なぜお主
You're
が
acting like you're in charge of
俺
things.
と桃田ちゃんが
So if we
クロス
assume
ボ
that
ウで
Kaito
撃
and
ち合
I
ったと
shot
して
each other with the
まず
crossbow,
はその
then
時
the
の
most
状況を
efficient
ま
way
と
to solve
めてみる
this
こと
is
が
to set up the
謎を解く
timeline of
と
events.
だからなぜお主
というわけで議論スタ
Let the
ート。
debate begin. Alright.
クロスボウの撃ち合いがあった時ってどんな状況
Crossbow
だったんだ
fired.
ろう
What
ね。
was even going on?
当事者のくせに仕切る
So if you
な。
need to ask, you were the one who
最
were
初に
there.
クロスボウを持ってたのは桃田くんだから、まず彼が大間くんを撃ったんじゃない？
その後桃田君は大間君にクロスボウを奪われ逆に撃たれてしまったのでしょう。
クロスボウは奪われたわけじゃ
I'm
な
gonna
く
take the
て
crossbow from Kaito.
俺が隠し持ってた別物だったり
So
し
you
て
can brought a different one in.
持ち出されたクロスボウは一つだけだよ。
Can I click?
残り二つはちゃんと私の研究教室にあっ
それにしてもたった一本の矢だけでどうやってお
Okay,
互いを打ち合ったんじゃ。
ところでクロスボウって痛いんだね。まだ傷口がズキズキ痛むよ。
Hmm.
クロ
Yeah.
スボウの打ち合いがあった時ってどんな状
Yes,
況だったんだろう
Himiko.
ね。
当事者のくせに仕切るな。
Yeah,
た。
Himiko
最
is
初にクロ
wrong.
スボ
There
ウ
are
を持って
three.
たのは桃田くんだから、まず彼が
There
大間
are
くんを撃
three
ったんじゃない？
first.
その後桃田君は大間君
Kichi
にクロ
took
ス
the
ボウを奪わ
crossbow.
れ逆に
Some
撃たれてしまっ
Kaito
た
and
のでしょう。
returned fire.
クロスボウは奪われたわけじゃなくて
Didn't take the crossbow from
俺が隠し持ってた
Kaito.
別
I
物だ
brought
った
a
りして。
different one. Yeah, it's a
持
lie.
ち出されたクロスボウは一つだけだよ。残り二つはちゃんと
No
私の
tourists
研
in my
究教室
research
にあった。
lab.
それにしてもたった一本の矢だけで
Thank you.
それは違うぞ。
Spoochie goes Alright, let's see here.
ちょっと待って夢野
Wait,
さん。
Himiko, what do you mean
Yeah,
one
but
arrow?
は
Well, they gave
あ
Kaito one
どういう
arrow,
こともないよ
so... What?
それって本当？
You positive?
ま、
Of course, there's no way I got that wrong.
だとすると
And that's
おかしい。
strange because
現場の
there
ト
were
イレに
three
落ちて
arrows
い
in
た
the
矢は
bathroom, remember?
ん
I know I only gave him one.
そもそも
Kaito even told me to only bring
一
him
本
one.
でい
He
い
said he
と言ったの
wanted to
に
avoid
よ。
fighting. 3 arrows at the scene, but Himiko said she only brought one. Maybe Kokichi had some hidden
ク
away?
ロスボウもないのに
Why would Kokichi have 2 arrows when he doesn't have a crossbow to fire them?
でもあの
I know
現
for
場に
certain
3
that
本の
3
矢があっ
arrows
た
were
のは
recovered
確
from
か
the scene.
しかもその3
And
本の
all
矢の
3
すべ
arrows
て
had
に
blood on
血
them.
痕がついていたんだ。
それに
And altogether, their clothes had 3 perforations in them.
となると
Why not just say
大間君と桃田
holes?
君が3本の矢で撃
So
ち
we
合
know
っ
for
たんだ
certain that they shot 3
That's
arrows
right.
at each other. Where did those arrows come from? I don't think Himiko is lying. Must be some angle to this we haven't considered yet. What could have happened? Think, Shuichi, think! Oh boy, Psych Taxi. 2, 1. Neum. Oh, this is a new scene. Wow, I only got 3 out of 5 there. Okay. Let's go. There we go. Lane splitting at its finest. I noticed Maki didn't say anything. How many arrows did Himiko give Kaito? 1. I noticed Maki didn't say anything about how many arrows were in her lab. Not that that's really I don't know if that's like a possible thing to know. Or if that's even something that she would know. I could be wrong though. Next question. Man, I feel like there should be a way to get all 4 of those. Definitely not all 4 of those. Or all 8, however many there were there. Oh, that was a hidden Monokuma. Whoops. Were all of the arrows inside the hangar from the start? Ooh, interesting question. Yes or no? I'm gonna say... Well, yeah, they would have to be. Apparently not. Mildly graphic on a miss for the answering the question. Doing. 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 Ding. Who shot first? Oh no. Ow. Well, at least it doesn't, like... Who brought the arrows? I'm gonna have to guess Kokichi if that's one of the options. Even though it doesn't make... Who brought the 2 arrows? Surely not Maki. How many options we got? We got 3. One of them is gonna be Himiko, which we know is wrong. Third party. Has to be a third party. So the question becomes, who is the third party? Alright. Being the additional arrows were brought in by a third party? Third party? So someone besides Kokichi or Himiko? Just a guess though, there's no way a third party exists. If a third party did exist, why would they bring 2 arrows? Kaito was the only one with a crossbow. I made sure I handed it to him. Kaito said he only needed 1 arrow. Clearly he didn't want to fight. Yeah, that's right. So the other 2 arrows weren't for Kaito, or for the third party to use themselves. Oh. So the third party didn't hand the arrows through the window. Instead, they went into the hangar and shot the crossbow themselves. There's an alarm system and an electric barrier on the hangar. The hangar could have been, or should have been closed off. I feel like there might be another way, some way we haven't figured out yet. Think, Shuichi, think! Hangman's Gambit. Exisal. Exisal. The Exisal could be used to enter the hangar. Couldn't get in because of the alarm system and the electric barrier, but that shouldn't have been a problem for any of the Exisals, right? So if you wanted to enter the hangar, all you had to do was pilot an Exisal. So an Exisal entered the hangar last night. So is this third-party piloting it? I just want to confirm something with Monokuma. Would the alarm still go off if there was a person inside an Exisal? Well, I wasn't trying to keep this secret, but since it's about the details of the hangar, I guess I could tell you guys. Makes sense that the alarm system in electric barrier wouldn't react to an exisal. After all, the hangar is where the exisals are supposed to be stored. It'd be a hassle to disable the security every time an exisal comes and goes, you know. So even if someone is inside an exisal, the security system wouldn't catch them. It'd be a hassle to leave the exisal every time you have to put it away. That's like Shuichi said, a third party got into an exisal and entered the hangar. Can just anyone pilot an exisal?
どうなんですか
Well, Kokichi?
いやー驚くくらい簡単だね両手両足と乳首を使えば思いのままに操作できるよ
首も
だとしたらやっぱり第三者は
Okay then.
エグイサルに乗り込ん
Third
で
party
格
commandeered
納
an
庫に
exisal
侵
and
入したんだ
infiltrated
よ
the hangar.
そしてその人
Same
物こそ
person
が
must have brought the other two
現
players with
だ
them.
からありえないってエグイサルに乗り込めばセキュリティを突破できるそんな
不可能って
How would you know, Maki? How would you know, Maki? Someone's playing the exisal.
それは不可能なんだよ
What evidence do you
エグイサル
have?
の操作だって別に難しくないらしいよそもそもエグイサルにどうやって乗り込むの格納庫の外にいた4体のエグイサルは全て動いてたんだよ、
俺のリモコンで操られてね
エレクトハンマーを使おうにも昨日は全てのハンマーが充電中でしたし
エグイサルを
No,
止める
okay,
方法
well,
は
I
ない
missed that. There's no way to stop an
だか
exisal.
らあれに乗り込むのは無理なんだよ
Electro bomb hatches electronic lock. So
エグイサルに乗り込めば格納庫には入れたはずですが
holy, can I click properly?
でもエグイサルの操作だって別に難しくないらしいよそもそもエグイサルにどうやって乗
know how to
り
get
込む
inside an
格
exisal.
納庫の外にいた4体のエグイサルは全て動いてたんだよ
俺の
Moving
リモコン
to
で操られてね
エレクトハンマーを使おうにも
electro hammers weren't
昨
an
日は
option.
全てのハンマーが充電中でしたし
There we go. Thank you for just breaking through the white noise.
待って
Not all the electro hammers are being charged.
だって
I know because I found one. There's a used electro hammer near Monokuma and the exisals.
もしや
Was that electro hammer used by the third party?
第三者はそ
Maybe
の
they
エレ
used it
ク
to
ト
disable
ハン
an
マー
exisal. Think so. Because there were
僕が
4,
昨日
and today there are 3.
今朝みんなで格
This
納庫に
morning there were only 3.
僕もエグイサルが減っていたのは見ましたか
にししどうやら
Shuichi is
最後
getting
は
warmer.
だったらその調子で
How about you say the answer right now?
それをやったのって
Who did it?
誰
Who
な
is
んだ
the
ろうね
third party? Electro hammer gives us a clue. Culprit must have used the electro hammer between yesterday afternoon and this morning. Only one person in Mogosu that I think could do that. Maki? Holy, can I click my stuff properly? I am smacking my keys so hard right now. Maki?
君だ春川さん
You're the third party we're
第
looking
三者
for,
っ
aren't you?
て君だよね
春川さんが
Maki?
何の
What
話
are you saying?
前に大
Remember
間
what
君が言って
Kokichi
いたよ
said.
ね
Be careful, the electro hammer runs out of battery pretty quickly, so if you use it against an exisal, it'll run out of juice with just one shot.
しかも
Electro hammer needs to be recharged for 24 hours after it runs out of
昨
battery.
日の昼過ぎ以
The
降
hammer
にエ
was
レク
used
トハン
last
マーを使った
afternoon,
ら
so it couldn't be used this
今朝の
morning.
作戦
そういえば
You're all gathered in the dining hall this morning. Maki, where's your electro hammer? I don't need it. I'd rather not use a weapon I'm unfamiliar with. This is much better. Knife, a kniffy.
春川さんだけ
Only one without an electro hammer.
だとすると
Electro hammer I found could have only belonged to Maki.
つまり
That leads me to the conclusion that Maki must be the third party.
それに
She also knows how to assemble the crossbow and could have returned it to her lab later.
桃田君が持っていた
Brought a different crossbow than the one Kaito had.
春川さんは
Maki took 2 arrows and her own crossbow from her lab,
エレクトハンマ
disabled
ー
the
で無
axes
力化
with
した
an
エグい
electro
サル
hammer
で
and infiltrated the
だ
hangar.
としたらその後
We
に
just
一
have
体
to
何
figure
が
out what happened after.
私が殺す。なんで
Why are you doing this?
なんで
Why are you getting in
邪
my
魔っ
way?
て何の春川さんは何をしようと
Yes, I'm the third party.
えぐいサ
I
ル
meant to go in the hangar with an axes on, then shooting the crossbow.
でも私は
But I
誰も
didn't
殺し
kill
てない
anyone. I'm not the culprit. Okay, we can believe that.
あんたの言う通りだよ。
Holy.
私がエレクトハンマーを使ったことも、エグイサルで格納庫に乗り込んだことも、そこでクロスボウを撃ったことまで。でも私は犯人じゃない。そもそもクロスボウは凶器じゃないんだよ。
Alright.
クロ
Crossbow is
ス
not
ボ
the
ウ
murder
は
weapon.
凶器じゃないって
Come on,
どういうこ
Shuichi,
と
you should know this by now.
二人の服に開いていた穴。その位置を考えてみ
Think
な
about
い。
the locations of the
腕と
wounds.
背中だよ。
Or on his arm and
ど
back.
っちも矢が刺さった程度じゃ
Arrow to each of those spots
致命傷にならない。
would result in a fatal injury.
その言葉切ってみせる
Yeah, but the poison would. And why was that poison then?
矢が刺さった位置は
Didn't
関係ない
matter where the arrow hit if it were
毒薬を
poison.
塗れば
毒薬？
僕の研究教
Noticed
室に
something
置いて
about
あ
the
った
poison
毒
in my
薬だ
lab during the investigation.
その毒薬
Just
の
a
中
little
に
less in the bottle than
やたらと
before.
量が少なくもしその毒
That
薬
poison
が
had been applied to
クロ
those
スボウ
arrows.
矢をどこに受
That
けよ
would
う
have
と
been lethal no matter where they
間違いなく
connected. Oh, don't tell me Maki's gonna be the killer.
春川さん反論はないんですか？
どうしたんじゃ？なぜ
You didn't even give her a
何も
chance to answer.
まさか
そんなわけないよ。
黙って
きっと
Don't tell me Maki's the
春川さんは言っていた
culprit.
よねきっと春川さんはこの学級裁判で殺し合いの首謀者で絶望の残党でもある彼をね
だとするとは
No.
しまった
All of don't tell me.
そうだ
Maki.
春川さんは僕ら全員の命と引き換えに
私たちを。
つまり春川さんは大間くんごと僕
ということは
春川さん自身には
でもそんな姑息な作戦も残念だったねアルカーちゃんま俺の思った通りだったけど
君は最初から春川さん
でもまだ終わりじゃない
ん
それが真実かもしれないけどそこから僕らが選ぶ選択肢が
まさか
違う結末って投票をわざと間違えるということですか？
なんじゃと
桃田くんは僕に言ってくれたんだ僕なら真実の向こうにある何かがつかめるはずだだとしたら真実を見つけて終わりじゃないその先にある僕らの希望をつかみ取るためにも春川さん
Huh?
そうなんだ。じゃああいつが死ぬ前に仲直りできたんだね。
うん
そっか。
I'm
わかった。話すよ。それにしてもさ、
どうかなもしかし
あいつも
それで
okay. Can
何があったんですか？
get on with it? Come on.
春川さんうちからも
そして春川さんは真実を語り始めた。
Shut up. Shut up,
テンション
Monokuma.
入れるでない
ま、これはこれでつまらなくない展開かもね。
Oh, is this gonna be the save point? Are we already... Okay, then. Oh... okay. That was pretty quick. Well, I'd say it's been pretty quick, but it's been over an hour and a half. Monokuma and Cubs Theater. With all the Monokubs destroyed, this segment was no longer possible, and so the curtain quickly fell. I feel like they're just getting more lazy with these as the game goes on. Class trial resume. Flashback light became the motive. When Kokichi remembered that he was a remnant of despair, he planned to kill him. Thought that if I killed him, this game and the battle between the hope and despair would end. I was confident in my talent as an assassin. I knew I'd be able to do it. Tried to end this killing game before, but we were naive. That's what I thought. I knew Kokichi would take advantage of my naivete just because it's him. So I needed to settle it myself. I took the poison arrows and the crossbow. Broke into the hangar with an exisal. When I entered the hangar, I saw something I never expected. Kaito and Kokichi were fighting each other. Kokichi was shot in the arm with a crossbow arrow, probably by Kaito when he fought back. All of them stopped and looked at the exisal, most likely surprised by its sudden appearance. Kokichi immediately took out his remote and attempted to control the exisal I was in. He jumped out of the exisal before he could and shot Kokichi in the back with an arrow. That should have been enough to stop him since the arrow is coated with poison. Why pick that particular poison? Some of the poisons in my lab were far more lethal. I wanted Kokichi to confess his true intentions before he died. Find out why he was always lying and trying to confuse us. If he was a mastermind, it would have been easier for him to hide in the shadows, right? Could have made it seem as if it was the late Junko who was secretly behind the killing game. That way he could reveal himself as a surprise mastermind to liven up the game. Because of his suspicious actions, anyone who would already suspect him as the mastermind. Especially that message in the courtyard. Kokichi said it was a hint, but was it necessary for him to go out of his way for just a hint? He's a remnant of despair. I imagine he wanted to feel the despair of his plan being thwarted. I think that if he wanted the thrill, he would have carried out the plan carefully. When his carefully laid out plan goes to waste, he would be in utter despair. Maki must have wanted to hear it directly from Kokichi himself. It is pointless. I was a fool for thinking I could have a serious talk with him. That's not proper gun safety.
絶望の残党って何を言ってるのか。それよりなんで終わったはずの殺し合いをまた始めちゃうの。もう
You know it's all meaningless and that I'm the mastermind. Do you like killing that much?
黙れクソ野郎。いくら話しても無駄だって分かって。でも
Okay, so
桃田君が
なぜ
その時はそんなこと急いで
解毒薬は持っていかなかった。
話を聞くために拷問致死薬を使った。
ひどい。
でもそれが
my
一番
first mistake because of that.
桃田を
I ended up killing Kaito.
解毒薬を持って
When I
戻ってき
returned
た
to the
ら
antidote, the hangar shutter had been closed. I assumed it was Kokichi's doing, but because of that, I couldn't enter the
で
hangar
もなんと
anymore.
かして桃田に
I
解
need to
毒
give
薬を
Kaito the
渡したく
antidote
て。
somehow, so I went to a bathroom window.
桃田聞こえる？そう呼びかけた後、私桃田はそれに気づいてく。でも
悪いけどさ、 俺はこの殺し合いの。
待ってその
ああ、桃田ちゃんの子宇宙にだって。くそ。や
めて。
はあ、ってわけにはいかないか。今回黒になるのは
Hmm.
ふざけんな。
桃田どう
仕方ねえだろ。
なんだもでもさ
Something still seems off about this.
心配す俺に。
やっぱりにしねちょっとやってみてよ
Hmm.
俺もできる
あんた
いいから。ねえ生きろ。
Hmm.
だけどなんとか格納庫に
Trying to
入ろ
enter
うと
the
して
hangar by breaking the
操作
control
パネル
panel with my knife. In the end, I couldn't.
あの操作パネルの
その後で
After that, I returned to the
もう一
bathroom
度
window
ト
once
イレの
more, but I
窓
didn't see
窓
anyone.
の奥に見える
Bathroom
トイ
door
レ
was
の扉
closed. I
も閉
called
ま
out,
って
but
て
neither Kaito nor Kokichi
もう
answered.
どうするこ
Couldn't
と
do
もで
anything
きなく
anymore.
な
All
っ
I
て
could do is leave.
そこで
So I made up my mind.
桃田を
As
殺
a
した
black and
黒
killed
として
Kaito, I would kill Kokichi during this class
But
trial in
don't
exchange for all your
touch
lives.
そう
Wow, that's.
だったんだね
では
And Kokichi, knowing what he knew, still helped Maki cover up her
桃
crime.
田をプレス機で潰したのも
仲間として
Kaito wanted Maki to be spotless. As his friend, I felt obliged to help him.
バカにするな何が仲間だこのクソ野郎
春川ちゃんは怖いな俺が生身だったら今頃それで今ので全ての真相犀原ちゃんが言ったみたいにわざと投票それともちゃんとまあ君たちの好きな方を選びなよ俺は
Hmm.
いいから
What
早
if
く選びなって
everybody votes for a different person?
いやと
No,
だ
we
って
can't vote yet. We don't have the whole
こ
truth.
の事件はまだ終わって
は
春川さん話してくれてありがとう
Thank you for telling us everything, Maki. Thanks to you, I finally understand.
君が知ってい
There's
る
another
真
hidden
実の
truth
奥に
within your testimony.
別の真実
だって
There's something wrong with the testimony you've given us. No, that's not it, apparently.
クソ
Well, okay then. Maki becoming the blackened.
しまったそうだ
Control panel being damaged.
さっき春川さんは
Maki said she used a knife to try and break the control panel and enter the hangar, but that doesn't make sense because there's an alarm system on the shutter.
そうだよ
Alarm should have gone off if someone got close to the shutter.
私も
たまたま
The sensor just missed her?
いやいや
Ah, the security there isn't that sloppy.
不審者がシャッタ
If
ー
a
に
shady
近づいて
person
いた
got
ら
near the shutter, then the alarm would have gone off without question.
だったら
Why
どう
didn't
し
the
て
alarm go
やっ
off?
ぱりまだ終わっ
Like I
てないん
told
だ
you,
よ
this isn't over. There's still a hidden truth to find. So I don't think... So right now the blackened is either... It's one of three people.
私は格納庫に入ろうとして
It's either
操作パネ
Maki,
ルをナイフで壊そうとしたけどその時警
or
報装置は鳴らなかったよ
ですがシャッターに近づいた警報装置は 100% 作動するはずです
holy crap, there's a
だ
lot
ったら
of
故
yellow.
障かの
その時だけ特別な設定になってたとか
それか春川ちゃんが嘘をついてるか
It's either Kokichi, Maki, or Kaito that's the blackened.
私はもう嘘なんて言わないよ私は格納庫に入ろうとして操作パネルをナイフで壊そうとしたけど
Trying to
その
destroy
時
them.
警報装置は鳴らなかったよ
Can I
で
click
すが
that?
シャッターに
Holy.
近づいた警報装置は 100% 作動するはずです
だったら故障か
It's just
の
broken. Crossbow,
その時
electro
だ
bomb,
け特
hangar's
別な
front
設定になってた
shutter.
とか
それか春川ちゃんが嘘をついてるか
X's was protecting Monokuma.
私はもう嘘なんて言わないよ
Electro bomb? Hmm?
私は格納庫に入ろうとして操作パネルを
Here. Hmm. Crossbow, just a crossbow. Hatch's electronic lock. There's in the middle of the hangar with its hatch open and its cockpit exposed. Enough space in the cockpit for one person. Electronic lock on the hatch that only monocubes can open.
ナイフで壊そうとしたけど、その時警報装置は鳴らなかったよ。
ですがシャッターに近づいたら警報装置は 100% 作動するはずです。
No? Okay then.
違ったか。
Let's see
私は
here.
格納庫に入ろう
I
として
feel like it's the hatch's electronic
操作パ
lock.
ネルをナイフで壊そうと
No,
したけど、
it's not gonna be the hatch's
その時
electronic
警報
lock.
装置は鳴らなかったよ。
ですがシャッターに近づいたら警報装置は 100% 作
Crossbow,
動するはずです。
electro bomb.
だったら故障かの。
その時だけ特別な設定になってたとか。
それか春川ちゃんが嘘をついてる。
X's electronic monocube, hatch's electronic lock, crossbow, electro bomb.
私はもう嘘なんて言わないよ。
Perhaps?
私は格納庫に入ろうとして操作パネルをナイフで壊そうとしたけど、その時警報装置は鳴らなかったよ。
ですがシャッターに近づいたら警報装置は 100% 作動するはずです。
だったら故障か
Okay
の。
then.
その時だけ
Broken.
特別な設定になってたとか。
No? Okay then.
しまった。
Problem didn't have to do with the
私
alarm
は格納庫に入
itself.
ろうとして操作パネルをナイフで壊そうとしたけど、その時警報装置は鳴らなかったよ。
ですがシャッターに近づいたら警報装置は 100% 作動するはずです。
Okay then.
違ったか。
Cause I don't.
私は
Wait.
格納庫に入ろうとして
Electro bomb, hangar's front shutter, X's protecting monocube.
その時警報装置は鳴らなかったよ。
ですがシャッターに近づいたら警報装置は
It's gotta be the
100%
electronic
作動するは
lock,
ずです。
right?
だったら故障かの。
その時だけ特別な設定になってたとか。
それか春川ちゃんが嘘をついてるか。本当に操作パネルをナイフで壊そうとしたんだ。
私はもう嘘なんて言わないよ。
The system itself is working properly.
私は格納庫に入ろうとして操
Hatch's
作パネルをナイフで
electronic
壊そうとしたけど、その時警報装置は鳴らなかったよ。
Alarm system didn't go
ですが
off.
シャッターに近づいたら警報装置は 100% 作動するはずです。
だったら故障かの。
その時だけ特別な設定になってたとか。
それか春川ちゃんが嘘をつい
I'm
てる。
confused on
本
what
当に
is
操作パネ
next.
ルをナイフで壊そうとしたんだ。
私はもう嘘なんて言わないよ。
Okay, so we got Hatch's electronic lock. That's not gonna be it. Crossbow, that's not gonna be it. Hangar's front shutter. Alarm can be disabled with the alarm remote. Electro bomb. Electro bomb? On the 100% maybe? We could try it.
私は格納庫に入ろうとして操作パネルをナイフで壊そうとしたけど、警報装置は鳴らなかったよ。
で
Holy.
すがシャッターに近づいたら警報装置は 100% 作動するはず
Are
で
you
す。
kidding me?
だったら
特別な設定になってたとか。
で壊そうとしたんだ。
Alright, let me try using electro bomb on the
したけど鳴らなかったよ。
ですがシャッターに近づいたら警報装置は 100% 作動する
Bing,
は
there
ず
we
です。
go.
それは違うぞ。
Okay, so
いや、
there's a way to disable the alarm system. An electro bomb would take it down. Maki only had one bomb and she used it during the raid this morning.
そうなると
Only the person who could have used one is Kokichi, right?
どうして俺がエレクトボムを使わなくて、そもそも警報
No
装
reason
置
to
を
shut off the
切る理由は
alarm,
ない
right?
よ
I'd be a
ね。
disadvantage if I did that.
確かにそうじゃな。
In that case, then simulating the alarm system wasn't the real objective. Disable. Press the safety function.
そうだ。プレス機の安全装
It's
置
to
を解
deactivate
除
the
するた
safety
めだよ。
function on the press.
安全装置の解除。
だって
Electro bomb would have just taken down the alarm system.
プレス機の安
Would
全
have
装
also
置のセン
disabled
サ
the
ーだよ
hydraulic
ね。
press's safety
そ
function.
れはそうじゃが。
It's true, but why would he do that?
プレス機の安全装置。でもそうだとすると、さっきまでの前提が大きく
前提が覆る。
An aspect of this case runs contrary to the new evidence. Kaito's cause of death.
そうだ。
Oh boy.
桃田くんの死。春川さんが
The electro bomb was used while Maki was trying to deliver the antidote. Maybe Kaito didn't die by poison, it could have been something else entirely. Cause of death could now be hydraulic press.
これだ。プレス機だよ。桃田くんがプレス機で殺された可能性が出てくるんだ。
桃田くんがプレ
だってプレス機の安全装置が解除されて、
私がシャッターを開けようとしたのは桃田はまだ生きていたはずだよ。
その直後にプレス機で潰されたのなら、桃田くんの死因はプレス機ということになりますね。
その場合、桃田を殺した犯人は黒ず。
プレス機を動かした大間くんということになるんだよ。
なるほどね。見事だよ。
Hydraulic press could have been the cause of
プレ
death.
ス機が死因って可能性も出てくるね。可能性だけどね。
どういう意味だ？
プレス機で桃田ちゃんを殺した可能性があるってだけで、それが本当かどうかは確かめようがないよ。桃田ちゃんの死因が毒薬かプレス機か。どちらも可能性はあるけど、絶対にね。
絶対に
そんなことはない。
We'll probably solve this mystery too, right, Shuichi? I have to believe it is possible. Seriously? Okay.
悔しいけど。
なんじゃと？
肝心の死体も確認できないし、それを判
Don't
断
have
す
any
る。だから
conclusive evidence. You can't deduce any more from here on out. There's no way to know what
当事
happened.
者である。
But I know because I was actually involved.
もしかして誰にも真相がわからない犯行を
西氏、やっと気づいた？今回の殺人のメイントリックは被害者犯人不明ってことなんだよ。
The unknowable culprit. Well, we dealt with that last
俺以
time.
外の誰にもわからない犯行、その答えを知っているのは俺だけ。もはや推理が入り込む余地なんてないんだよ。君らは完全
Well,
犯
either
人
way,
を当てる
Kokichi's
し
dead.
かないんだ。
Either way, Kokichi's dead.
勘弁。西氏、困ったね。
I'm sure robots don't have intuition,
でも
right?
仕方ないんだよ。
There's nothing you can do about it. This is just how the trial
と
goes.
いうわけで、
So who's the culprit, Maki or me?
白と黒の運命を分ける。
It's voting time. I'm gonna say Kokichi. Watch, it's gonna be.
待ってよ。僕は
It's my line. I'm the one who decides when it's voting
も
time.
う真相なん別にモノクマは困らないでしょ。今までそうだった。
Monokuma doesn't know either.
本人です。何が？
まさかもの
何の話？何を知らないって？
本当に知らないの？
どういうことじゃ？なぜ？
そうか。大間くんの本当の
Kokichi
狙い
wasn't
は
just trying to commit a
僕ら
murder
に
that we
わから
couldn't
ない
figure out.
モノクマに
He's
もわ
trying
か
to
らない
commit a
犯
murder
行を
that
作り上げる
Monokuma
ことだ。
couldn't figure out either.
熊にもわからない
point of that, Kokichi's the one who's controlling Monokuma. Consider how many of the elements of this case would be cleared up. Prior to this case, Monokuma always knows the specific details of each crime, correct? That must mean he was used in some way monitoring us. And cameras strategically placed to avoid her detection. Alright.
その前にもう一つはっきりさせ
Okay,
目的が
so
モノクマにも
the Exizals
いや
weren't protecting Monokuma, they were keeping him there. Watching him.
そうだ
They were watching Monokuma.
見張るだってモノクマは捜査の
Remember
時
what
に言っていたん
Monokuma
だ
said earlier in the investigation? Exizals were on autopilot and directed only to observe me.
もしモノクマを
They
守
were
ってい
protecting
る
him
な
like
ら
bodyguards, they
モ
would
ノ
have
ク
been
マ
facing him.
むしろ
Remember
周囲を
scanning
警
the
戒して
area watching
だからあ
us,
れ
but
は
they weren't. That
モ
implies
ノ
they
クマを
weren't
守って
watching
いたん
us,
じゃ
they
な
were
い
watching him.
そうやってモ
Trying to
ノ
make,
クマを
make
犯
sure
行現場
Monokuma
から
wouldn't
遠
go
ざ
near the crime scene.
そういえば
Before I stole an Exizal, all 4 units were focused on
だ
Monokuma.
から私
That's
が
why
そ
when
の
I
うち
stole
の
the
1
one
体を
to
奪って
enter the
格納
hangar,
庫
the
に
other
向かっても
3 didn't
や
pursue.
っぱりあの時
Monokuma
モノ
must
ク
have
マ
been
が言って
talking
い
about
た
Maki. Even put someone at a disadvantage, a class trial must always be fair. The person who shared that info with me didn't seem interested in sharing it with you guys. So you share it instead, that way it'll be fair to all the participants.
僕たちと情報を
Because
共
she didn't
有
want to
しない
share
っ
that
てことは
information because it would have
一連
linked
の
her to the
犯行
murder.
だとすると
In which case, it could only be Maki.
そうだね
So to summarize this discussion, Kokichi used the electro bomb in the hangar and the Exizals to watch Monokuma.
モノクマにも
By creating a scenario in which Monokuma has no idea who the culprit is.
だからそんなことをして何の意味がある
だったら大間くんはモノ
なんじゃと
でも大間くんは首謀だったら大間くんは首謀者でもないのかもしれない
That's a hot take from Shuichi.
そもそも大間くんが首謀者ってことにそれに関してモノクマは何も言っていないだとした
嘘なわけないじゃん。モノクマは間違いなく俺が操ってるし、この殺し合いの首謀者も間違いなく俺だよ。人類最後の生き残り同士の殺し合いも全部俺が考えたことだからね。
そうじゃ
だからって殺し合いの首謀者
それはモノクマどうさすがに僕に聞かれても困るよ
だったらなおさら答えるべきだこの場面で
You don't tell us the truth right now, you're being accomplice to Kokichi's lies.
そんなの
Does that
公正
sound
な
like a
ゲー
fair
ムと言え
game?
る
Would
の
you
か
say this class trial is
公
a
正
fair
な学級裁
is
判
fair?
そうだよ
Is
答えてよ
Kokichi the real mastermind or not?
答える必要ないよ。
No need to think about it, you're being way too forward, you know.
出しゃばりすぎはそっ
Aren't you
ちでしょ
normally the forward one?
まあそれも
I
君
mean,
の
I don't
戦
mind,
略
because
だろう
that's
し
probably part of your strategy too.
ただ僕は
But
僕
in the
で
interest of fairness, I suppose it's time to tell the truth.
真実は誰にとっても
Unlike the lies you
公
love
平
so
であるべ
much,
き
the
だから
truth
ね
should be impartial to everyone.
君がだ
And what is that truth?
僕は大
I'm
間
not
君
being
に操
controlled
ら
by
れてない
Kokichi
よ
because he's not the
だっ
mastermind.
て
Alright.
そうなのお前らが
Kokichi was just
大間君
messing
に
with you. I
騙されてた
never
だ
once
け
said he was a
なんだよ
mastermind.
では
It was all Kokichi's lie?
そういう
Yeah,
こと
that
だ
would mean.
彼は前回の
The
動
key
機である
from the last
謎
motive, he
の
was the
鍵で
first to learn the
一足
truth of
に
the outside
そこ
world.
から組み立
Based
て
on his
た
deductions, he fabricated a lie to make you all think he was the
自
mastermind.
分が
そうか
See, Kokichi's own deductions. You want to know? Then I'll tell you. I'm getting kind of bored with all the lying, so everything I say now would be the truth, okay?
まあその
His deductions got a lot of details right, though.
の
Pretty
は
impressive,
さすがだけ
honestly. What about the Exizals? Kokichi wasn't the mastermind. How did he control them so
イ
easily?
ルマさんのリ
He
モ
just
コンを
used Miu's
使った
control,
だけ
right?
でしょ
Miu's remote control.
もしかして
So the remote
Oh,
Kokichi was
Makun
using
が
was
持ってい
made
た
by
リモコン。
Miu? Oh, you didn't
知らん
know?
イルマさんが作
Miu
っ
not
たの
only
は
invented the
エレ
electro
クト
bomb
ボ
and the
ムと
electro
エレ
hammer,
電
she also made a
子
remote
機を
control that
自
can
由に操
hijack
る
any
リモコン
electronic
を
device.
大間君はエグい猿
Kokichi
に
just
それを
slapped a
取り
receiver
付
on
け
each
る
of
こと
the
で
Exizals and took
あ
him
いつ
for
ら
a
を
spin.
そこ
Hey,
まで
isn't
言っ
that
ち
a
ゃ
bit
うのは
unfair
さ
to
すが
tell
に
them all
公平
that?
さ。
ああ
Fairness has nothing to do with it. I offered that info purely out of spite. Spite towards you for trying to usurp the mastermind's role and take over the game.
まあ
Well, whatever. It's way more interesting to defeat an enemy who plays dirty anyway. Alright, this is getting good. See, cause here's the thing about Monokuma. He's very misleading. I will give you that. He's misleading, except for anything to do with the class trials. He doesn't screw around with the facts of the class trial. He doesn't like, yeah, he'll just won't reveal it normally. But if Monokuma says it didn't happen, it didn't happen. What are you trying to accomplish by pretending to be the mastermind, Kokichi? Then if he's not the mastermind, who is? Why are you so certain there's even a mastermind to begin with? What do you mean? Why, that's on a need-to-know basis, and you don't need to know. But I want to know. Real mastermind is not Kokichi. Who could it be? She's dead. We've never come into contact with her. Anyway, this conversation is pulling off the rails. Let's get things back on track. This class tries to figure out who the culprit is, not the mastermind. So yeah, get to talking. I agree. Before we worry about who the mastermind is or what my intent is, let's figure out the culprit. Monokuma doesn't know who it is. How is he supposed to confirm the results? We don't need to worry about that. Let's just leave the decision making to Monokuma. But you gotta run this class trial too, so no mistakes, okay? Trying to get me to do something. You've been watching us solve all these cases, but you can't be a spectator anymore. You're gonna participate in the class trial from here on out. Huh? So, let's resume this class trial. Monokuma, you gotta use your brain too. This is interesting. I play a game I intend to win. Let's consider winning in this game. Beating the other players? No, beating the game's mastermind is a true victory. And that's how I'll win. That's why I decided to challenge Monokuma. I can deceive Monokuma to the very end. As I suspected, your thought process defies all logic. Since the outside world is in total ruin, this game is the only entertainment we have. At least I can enjoy this game to the fullest and feel good winning. You really are a remnant of despair. Your way of thinking is just chaotic. Remnant of despair? Ah, whatever. Let's just get this started. If the students or Monokuma don't know who the culprit is, then I'm the winner. Don't underestimate me, or Shuichi and the others for that matter. What? It's just like a remnant of despair to try to assume control of the game. These kids are all that's left of Hope's Peak Academy. You think they're gonna make this easy for you, you better think again. Whose side are you taking? Side? Isn't it obvious? Monokuma joins your party. Ultimate despair headmaster. Who invited you? Now, let's join forces and unravel the truth behind this case. We're gonna do it anyway. Let's just ignore Monokuma. His actions are always beyond comprehension. Yeah, let's just focus on the case. Now, should we start? We've already established what Kokichi's after. We learn a new fact. We learn something else along with it. Yes, let's look for that. Piece of evidence makes more sense now. The murder video? Okay. Let's discuss the video of Kaito being crushed by the hydraulic press. Okay. Kokichi said that he filmed the video to prove he was not the victim. We know Kokichi was trying to mislead Monokuma, so what about the video? It's pretty strange to present evidence that condemns you, after all. What kind of mistake was Kokichi trying to get me to make?
本当の親
If
友
we
を
crushed
分からな
Kaito
く
with
す
the
るためじゃ
hydraulic
ない
press so the cause of death would be unknown?
でもそれだけ
If
な
that
ら
were the only
わざ
objective,
わ
there
ざ
would
ビ
be
デオ
no
を
need
録
to
画する
film.
プレスされた状態の死
Discovering
体
the
が見
crushed
つか
body
れば
would
い
have
い
been
だけで
enough. No need to
そ
show
の
us the
瞬
film.
間の
That's true. Guess you're starting to fit in after all. You get any cute.
本当にわざわざ死
Must
体
be a
をプレス
reason you
し
went
た
out of
映
your
像
way
を
to
見
show us
せ
the
るってこと
body
は
being crushed.
別に意味なんてないよ。ただの
Nah. I want a Monokuma to make a mistake, then showing us the video must have something to do with trying to fool Monokuma. Hangman's Gambit. Wound. Victim. Can I click? Holy. Hmm.
被害者
The victim.
え
Is it even possible?
桃田くんが
When
死
you
ぬ
show the
瞬間
moment
の
of
映像を
Kaito's
見せ
death,
れ
of
ば
course it would lead us to
誰
believe
も
he
が
died.
そして
Even if
そ
we
の死
can't
体を確か
positively
めることが
identify
で
the
きないとな
body,
る
we
と
would still believe Kaito
死
was
ん
the
だの
victim.
は桃田くんもしかしたら
That might
そ
be
れこそが
exactly the
大間
mistake
くんの狙った
Kokichi was
子に
going for.
それって
You mean the victims were switched?
被害者の入れ替えじゃじゃあプレ
There's
ス機で
some
潰
other
され
dead
たの
body that got crushed by the hydraulic press?
そうだ別
Where
の
did
死
you
体
even
なんて
get
ど
another
こ
body?
それは
There should be plenty to choose from if you were easily body of a former victim.
正体
If
不
there was
明
an
の死
unknown
体が
body,
出
then
て
we
た
could
ら
guess the victim was switched. But too bad, switching the victims was
被害者
impossible.
の入れ替えあんな風に死体が
Footage
潰
showed
さ
the
れる
body
瞬
being
間まで
crushed.
一体いつ
When in the
被害
footage
者を入
would
れ
they
替え
have been
る
able to switch the victim?
しかもあの映像が捏造されてないことはこのビデオカメラには編集外部のパソコ
Yep,
ンに
yep,
接続
yep,
した
yep. Yes, we know the footage wasn't.
証明してしまっ
We
た
know the footage wasn't edited, but what if, let's say, that Kokichi's not in the Exazole? Let's say Kokichi's not in the Exazole. And let's also assume that the hydraulic press. Let's get a little bit crazy here. Let's get a little bit crazy here. Well, no, never mind.
そういうわけだから被害者の
Switching
入れ
out
替
the
え
victim would not be possible. Also, if the victim is switched, then that would mean Kaito is still alive.
その話は
I
もう
already
何
discussed
回
this
もした
so
じゃ
many
ん
times. Chance of that
今更
happening is might be possible.
私たちが
It'd be a
気づ
trick
け
to
て
make
な
the
いだけ
switch
で
possible. We just haven't noticed it yet.
それってどんなトリックほらわかんないんでしょ
There is a pause before the
いや春川さんの言う通りだ何かトリックが隠されている可能性はまだだから諦める
犀原もう一度何かが
Is there like a pause recording?
春川さん
だってそんなの
こういうことならあまたそ
Yeah. Alright. Yeah, but you should take your own advice, Kaito. Come on,
そうだ
man.
ね
たくしつこいな
どうせそれも嘘
ただ死体の入れ
If
替えが
victims were
行われて
switched,
い
then
た
that
と
would
な
mean
る
the footage was
映
altered.
像が編集さ
How
れて
could
い
that
ないと
have
なる
been
と
altered when we know the footage isn't
むしろ
edited?
それを見つけら
あの映像には
There
間違
was a
い
trick to
な
that
く
video that
大
looked
間が用意した時点
Trick to that video. What could it be? What's suspicious about it? I was gonna say the pause right before.
あの映像にはトリックがあるはずじゃそれをみんなで考えればいいんだね
That's what you all gotta
トリッ
figure
クなん
out.
てないよ
There's no
あのビ
trick.
デオには編集機能がないんだよ
あのカメラの位置って怪しくなかった？明らかに不自然なアングルだったよね。あのビデオに映ってたのって本当に桃田だったの？
あの映像で僕が不自然だと
Oh,
感じたの
Kaito's coat.
プレス機が一瞬止まったことです。
もしやあの映像は
Could it be?
どこか違う場所で撮られたのではないか？
What? Oh, the video. Never mind. I didn't read the whole. I didn't read the whole statement.
あの映像にはトリックがあるはずじゃ。それをみんなで考えればいいんだね。
Kaito's coat, I think, is gonna be what's needed
あのビ
here.
デオには編集機能が
No
ない。
editing function. Yes, we've established that.
怪しくな
Placement
か
of
っ
the
た？
camera seems
明らかに不
suspicious.
自然なアングルだったよね。あのビデオに映ってた
Naturally,
の
the person in that
本
video
当に桃田だったの？
is it really Kaito?
あの映像で僕が不自然だと
Something
感じ
seemed
た
off about that video
プ
to
レス機
me.
が一瞬
The
止まったこ
hydraulic
と
press
です。
stopped for a brief moment.
もしやあの映像は
Could it
ど
be?
こか違う場所で撮られたのではないか？
Video is shot in another location. Any other bright ideas?
ほらほらどんどん行っちゃって。
Oh, never mind.
あの映像にはトリックがあるはずじゃ。それをみんなで考えればいいんだね。
ト
hydraulic
リックなんてないよ。
press.
あのビデオには編集機能がないんだよ。
あのカメラの位置って怪しくなかった？明らかに不自然なアングルだった
Angles
よ
seem
ね。
unnatural, don't you think? We shot with the camera from the X's though. Wait a minute. What about... No, it's not the, what are my options again?
あのビデオに映って
Kaito's
たのっ
coat.
て
Let's see, yeah.
本当に桃田だったの？
Electro bomb.
あの映像で僕が不自然だと感
Hanger's
じたの
front shutter. That's not gonna be it.
プレス機が一瞬止まったことです。
もしやあの映像は
Video hydraulic
ど
press
こか違う
Kaito's
場所で撮
coat.
られたのではないか？さあ他に意見はない？ほらほらどんどん行っちゃって。あの映像にはトリックがあるはずじゃ。それをみんなで考えればいいんだね。
トリックなんてないよ。あのビデオには編集機能がないんだよ。
Okay then.
しまった。
Okay, but I mean, I know this isn't a. Oh, wait a minute, wait a
あの映
minute.
像にはトリックがあるはずじゃ。それをみん
Oh,
な
well.
で考えればいいんだね。
トリックなんてないよ。
Shows a moment Kaito was crushed by the hydraulic press. Hydraulic press. Up and down features a safety function. Body was crushed by the hydraulic press and is unidentifiable. Uh-huh.
あのビデオには編集機能がないんだよ。
あのカメラの位置って怪しくなかった？明らかに不自然なアングルだったよね。あのビデオに映ってたのって本当に桃田だったの？
It's really
あの映像で僕
Kaito.
が不自然だと感じたの
Something seemed off about
プレ
that
ス機
video
が
to
一
me.
瞬止まったことです。
Can I hit something, please?
どこか違う場所で撮られたのではないか？さ
Shot
あ
through
他に
her
意見はない？
hat.
ほらほらどんどん行っちゃって。
I'm gonna try agreeing with Kibo using the hydraulic press.
それを聞けばいいんだね。
ないんだよ。
あのカメラ
Hey, yep.
だったの？
Yeah.
プレス機が一瞬止まったことです。
There we go.
それに賛成だ。
Stopped for a brief moment. Also,
そうだ。
Kibo was onto something, isn't it weird the hydraulic press
プレス
stopped
機
for
が
a
一瞬
second?
止まったのは不自然だよ。だって僕と
Because
キー
when
ボ君が
Kibo
最
and
初
I
にあの
first
プレス機を確
investigated the
認した時
hydraulic press, it would just keep
そうで
moving.
したよね。
それなのにあの
And in the video, hmm,
機体を潰す直前にでも
how did it stop? Mind mine? Ah, jeez. Can I? Is it right click or left click? I can't tell right now. Holy! Can you just click on everything, please? Man. Nope, okay then. What? Nope, okay then. Okay. Well, that just... Okay, now. Okay, then. I hit both of the wrong answers and then the right answer. Alrighty then.
あの状況でプ
The
レ
only
ス
way と stop
機を止める
the
方法
hydraulic
は
press is the force stop
格
button.
納庫では
Electro bomb went off the hanger, which would have interfered with the safety function.
誰かが強
I mean,
制
no
ボ
way
タ
to
ン
stop
を
the
押す以外
hydraulic press unless someone
プレス
uses
機を止める方
the force
誰
stop
かって
button.
大間でしょあそこに
そういえば
Maybe I pressed it by accident, I don't really remember. So what of it?
プレス機が止まったのは一
Press
瞬
only
じゃん
stopped for like a second. You can't switch a victim in such a short time,
それ
can you?
もそれに映像を撮影している最中だってそんなことしたらバッチリその
そうか
え何
あの時
You stop something else at the same time you stop the hydraulic press. The camera. Another one? Electro bomb, that's not it. Where is it? Electro hammer. The camera. The camera. Alright. What did he say? I didn't hear him. What did
犯
he
人
say?
はプレス機を
Stop the
止める
video
と同
camera
時
at the
に
same time as the
ビデオ
hydraulic
その
press.
撮影されて
Then
い
while
な
the
い間
camera's
に
off, they switched
プレス機
the
の
body
下
onto
の
the
被害
hydraulic
そして
press. After the
被
body
害
was
者を入
swapped,
れ
the
替え
press
た
and the
後
camera were started
プレス機
simultaneously.
とビデオプレス機がたった
Looks
一
like
瞬
the
止
press
まっただ
stopped
け
for
の
a moment.
なるほど
That's what I've been saying this whole time.
そんなスイッチ
When did you ever say
プレ
that?
ス機とビデオカメラを
So they stopped at the same time. The camera position did seem odd to me, but now I get it. The trick wouldn't work unless it was set up there.
なんで
今言った方
The
法で
trick we
ビデ
just
オカメラ
described
と
to
プレ
work,
ス
the
機を
camera had to be set up precisely. Here?
ここだ。ビデオカメラを設置して
The
いたの
camera
は
must have been set up
だい
somewhere
たい
around
この位
here.
置ビデオカメラとプ
To
レ
operate
ス
and
機を
press the camera
同
at
時
the
に
same
操作する
time,
に
it
は
would have to be near the
プレス
switch.
だからあの映像はあんな不自然な角度から撮られてたんだね。そうだよね。
If they were recording it like normal, they would use a better angle. Well,
逆に言えばそんなカメラアングルでさ、
カメラアングルに注目する。まあ学級裁判だとコスプレイヤー。
ただ
there's a reason the camera is set up there, but also a reason for the height. So then you could only see the arm.
プレス機が止まった瞬間はほとんど中の人が見え
When
な
the
い位
press
置
was
になっ
stopped,
て
you
いた
couldn't
よ
really
ね。
see who was inside it, correct?
あれなら
It
プ
was
レス機
intentional.
が
The body is
機体
mostly
の
hidden
ほ
by
と
the
んどを
press,
隠
making
し
the
む
swap
しろ
easy.
そういう角度になるように
Camera must have been placed at a high position, so it would produce that angle.
カメラの高さを調整してるって。へえ、倉庫にはそんなものまであったんだ。まあ、お主が言うな。
じゃあ
And that logic is correct, right? Kokichi used that video angle trick and switched a victim in the hydraulic press.
だったら
In that case, Kaito
プレ
is...
ス機で潰される直前に、つまり桃田はまだ生きているんじ
ごめんちょっと
Oh,
待
wait
って
just a minute.
ゃ。なんじゃ。
夢野さん今言った
Miko, the
別の死
different
体
body
って
you mentioned, what are you
何の
talking
ことを言っ
about?
てるの
それは今まで犠牲になった誰かの死体じゃろう。大間は首謀者じゃし。あ、
Wait, the mastermind?
そうなんだよ
Yeah, Kokichi
大
is
間
the
君は首謀
mastermind,
者じゃ
so...
今まで犠
I
牲
don't
になっ
think
た
he'd be able
誰
to
かを
produce
身
a
代わり
body
に
to
する
switch
なんて
out.
どうなんですかモノクマ
Well, Monokuma, do the rules allow for a body to be reused? Very well, I'll answer that.
ずいぶんあっさりと
Giving it
答え
pretty easily.
まあこれも
Well, it's crucial information to make the trial fair. Discussion is pointless if it's not clear what the culprit is allowed to do, right?
都合のいいゲームマスターだね。
というわけで
Oh, now then, regarding the reuse of a dead body,
再利用は
that is impossible. All of the dead bodies have already been thrown
もう
away.
捨てちゃったもん。捨てたじゃと。
他の死体は
Other bodies are
Night
gone?
ってこと
Then who did Kaito switch
だ
places
った
with?
ら
The real victim was the other person in the hangar. I knew there was gonna be some...
犀原どうしたの？
春川さん
I think I missed something very important here.
大事なこと？
By the timeline right, there were only 2 people in the hangar at that time. Something had to be decided before. I have to pin that down. Hangman's Gambit. Huh? Victim? Victim... Culp? C-U-L-P-R-I... No. Victim... Killer? K-I-L-L-E-R. Yeah. Victim... Huh? Huh? Victim... Hmm? P? No, so it's not a P. Not D. L? Not L. Victim helper? That was a D. H E helped. The victim helped.
僕はどうして今までこんな大事なことを見落としていたんだ。
大事なこととは。
格納庫に2
Only
人
two
しかい
people in
な
the
い状
hangar
況
at the
で、
time the bodies were swapped,
どうしても
which means they were working together.
被害者の協力。
格納庫に
The only
2
two
人しかい
people
ない状
involved in
況
the
で
swap
入
were
れ替
the
わりをす
victim
る
and
な
the
ら、
culprit.
プレス機とビ
The
デオ
culprit
カ
was
メラを
operating
操
the
作して
camera
い
and
る
the
犯
hydraulic press while the victim laid
Please.
inside.
彼らがプレ
They
ス機
switched
とビデオカ
places
メ
while
ラ
the
を止
press
める
and
と同時
camera were stopped,
再び
and
プ
the
レス
person
機
who
とビデ
turned
オ
the
ロック
camera
が
and the
動かす
press
のは
back on was the
最初
original
につま
victim.
り
But it's simply both people operated the press and the camera at
プレス
different
機だから
times.
入れ替わる2人
An
が協力
impossible
していない
trick
と
unless the victim
こ
and
のトリ
culprit
ックは
agreed
成
to
立し
cooperate
ないんだ。
beforehand.
被害者と犯人が協
もちろん普通に
Sounds
考え
bizarre,
た
but
らありえない
perhaps that was the whole
こ
point.
の犯行の狙い
In a
が
crime that's so confusing, even Monokuma would be tricked.
まったく意地の悪い犯で、その犯
So,
人
have
って
you
誰な
realized who
の？
done it yet? Kaito killed Kokichi? Kaito killed Kokichi.
あの映像で最初に被害者だったのは桃田くんだった。だと
Which means the actual culprit.
その時プレス機とカメラをその2人がプレ
What?
プレ
Huh.
ス機で潰されたの。桃田くんってことになる。だから
Person
今
X
あ
and
の
the
エグイサル
X is
に
in
乗って
Kokichi.
桃田くんのはずなん
It
だ。
has to be Kaito.
なんじゃと？ということは
So, the culprit for this case is
桃田
Kaito Momota. That is what the ultimate detective has deduced, right?
桃田くんが犯人って冗談だよね。
僕だって信じたく
I
な
don't
い。
believe it either, but it's the only way ending this makes
真実
sense.
を導き出そうとすると犯人は桃田くんだって結論に行き着いちゃうんだ。
Well, pop open the Exisol.
答えてよ。あなたが本当に桃田くんなら。
Kaito.
私だよ。
Huh?
そもそも
There's no way Kaito can still be alive.
犯人は私なんだよ。
どうしたんじゃ？お主は
Didn't you
さっきまで
say?
だって
Saw it with my own
私は
eyes.
この目で私が桃田に渡した解毒薬を大間が奪って飲んだところをさ。
So he drank the antidote. Did he actually... Okay, no. Did he actually drink it, though?
だから死んだのは桃。
じゃがお主はさっき言っておったではないか。桃田を殺したなんて嫌だと。
そう嫌ってだけ。でも
But
真
this is
実たち
Kokichi
が
we're talking about.
結局私は真実から逃げてただけなんだよ。
They probably worked this out well before she showed up. So, Kokichi probably didn't actually drink the antidote.
なんじゃと？
I would not be surprised if Kokichi didn't actually drink the antidote.
解毒薬がたった一つしかなかった以上、それが真実。
まだ決まったわけじゃないけどね。まあどっちにしろその二択なん。
あれ？
そういう流れになっちゃっ
いやそんなはずない。あのエグイサルに乗っているのは
桃田じゃない。だから
This is Kokichi we're talking about.
絶対間違い。
でも
Maki, you don't know for certain that Kokichi drank the antidote.
は？
君は
So I'm drinking it right in front of you, but you couldn't confirm he actually
だ
did
った
it.
ら他の
何言ってるの？考えられない。他の可能性なんて考えられ。
Argument armament. Oh, that's cool art.
私が桃田を殺したんだよ。間違ってるのはあんたの方だ。 いつは私が撃った毒矢で死んだんだよ。それ以外の可能性なんてない。あんたが何を知ってるって言うんだよ。私が桃田を殺したんだよ。間違ってるのはあんたの方だ。あいつは私が撃った毒矢で死んだんだよ。それ以外の可能性なんてない。あんたが
There we go.
あんたが何を言おうが無駄だよ。これが真実だって言ってるのに。あんたがそうやって邪魔して。うざいんだよ、そういうの。あんたが何を言おうが無駄だよ。これが真実だって言ってるのに。
Okay then.
私は現場にいたんだよ。私が間違ってるはずがない。さっきまで黙ってたのは悪かったよ。私が殺したんじゃないって思いたかったから。でももう真実から逃げないって決めたんだ。
Excuse me?
だって根拠があるんだ。私は現場にいたんだよ。私が間違ってるはずがない。さっきまで黙ってたのは悪かったよ。私が殺したんじゃないって思いたかったから。でももう真実から逃げないって決めたんだ。
What the heck was
だっ
that?
て根拠があるんだ。私は現場にいたんだよ。私が間違ってるはずがない。さっきまで黙ってたのは悪かったよ。私が殺したんじゃないって思いたかったから。でももう真実から逃げないって決めたんだ。だって根拠があるんだ。私は現場にいたんだよ。
There we go, finally. Final blow.
私は大間が解毒薬を飲むところを
Pretended
見
to
てるん
drink the
だよ。
antidote.
これで終わりだ。
Yep.
私は
大間くんは解
Kokichi
毒
just
薬を
pretended
飲
to
む
drink
ふ
the
りをして
antidote.
いた
He
だけ
didn't
で
actually drink it.
飲むふり。
Nomuhuri.
解毒薬を飲んだのも彼の
Drinking the
嘘
antidote
っ
was
て
part
こ
of
と
his
だよ。
lie.
春川さんは
Aki could
トイ
only
レ
see
の
so
窓
much
越し
through
に
the
見た
window.
だ
She
けで
didn't
本
confirm
当に彼
Kokichi
が解
drank
毒
it.
薬その時
Believe that Kokichi
大間
knew
くん
this
は
and just
解毒
pretended to
薬
drink
を
the
そして
antidote. After
春
Maki
川
left,
さ
he
んがいなくなっ
gave the
た後
antidote
に
to Kaito.
僕はその可
Strong
能性が
possibility
高い
that
と
all
思
of
う。
this was done to
桃田
make
君も
Kaito cooperate.
自分の
協力
Make him cooperate?
例の入れ替わりトリ
Swapping
ック
trick
には
required the
犯
victim and
人と
culprit
被
to
害
work
者
together.
だから大間くんにとっ
Kaito's
ては
cooperation was
桃田
essential
く
to
んの協
Kokichi's
力は
plan.
だけど
However, I
大
don't
間
think
くんが
Kokichi
提
would
案したところ
would
で
be able to sway
桃田
Kaito
くん
easily.
だからこそ
He needed leverage. He gave
大間くんは
Kaito the antidote in
桃田
exchange
く
for
んを
his
救う
cooperation.
自分の命と
Exchange for his own life, you mean?
命を救ってもら
Kaito
っ
had
た
no
桃田
choice. He
く
had
ん
to
は
cooperate after
それ
Kokichi
に
saved his
彼
life.
の性格なら
That's
そう
just
したはずだ
just
よ。
Kaito's character, and Kokichi
大
knew
間くん
that.
に大間くんは
Swallowed his pride at that antidote and agreed to
一緒に
participate in Kokichi's plan.
だがこの計画
Didn't
を考
Kokichi
え
make
た
this
のは
plan?
大
What
間
good is
なん
it
じゃ
for
ろ
him if he's dead?
その
むしろ
Imagine this is
大
all
間
part
く
of
んが被
Kokichi's
害者
plan to
になるのも
confuse us.
共犯計
I
画を
don't
考
think that someone
え
would
た
plan
本
their
人
own
で
murder.
それすらも
Went so far as to give up his life just to create this mystery?
まさに大間くんに
Only
しかできな
Kokichi
い
could
犯
think
行
of
だよ。
something so nefarious.
計画に協力
Also
し
to
ながら
agree to die just to execute their plan.
これってきっと大間くんはどうしてもこのでも残
Too
念
bad Shuichi figured out the
So
truth.
真相
Truth? Are you sure it's not delusion?
妄想
全くもって
An
見当
illusion
外れの
completely off
妄
the
想
mark
だ
to
よ。
make you think that I died.
まあ君らが
But
どう
who
考
cares what
え
you
よう
guys
と
think? This is
構わない
between
けど
me
ね
and Monokuma.
おまけの君らが
I don't give
正
a
解で
crap
も
if
不
the
正解で
extras
も
in this game
俺の
get
知
it
った
right
こ
or
とじゃ
not.
ない。
おまけってそいつはよかったわ
Fine being an extra. Why?
うちら
We're
がお
just
まけ
extras in
な
your
らば
game. Come
こ
on,
こ
we
で
don't.
間違っても命までは取るよお
No,
まけ
Kokichi's words in my
なん
mouth.
じゃと
でもさ
Monokuma gets it right, then he takes everyone's lives, yeah?
ゲームマスタ
When
ーの君が真
Monokuma gets it
相を
wrong,
間違
then
え
he'd
た
have
り
no
した
right
ら
to take
彼
everyone's
らの命
lives.
を奪うどころじゃ
Huh?
なくなるはずだよ。だって
Monokuma doesn't know who the culprit is. That killing game can't function anymore.
桃田くん
Kaito, I believe in you. Hmm? You're cooperating with this plan. You must have a reason.
やっぱり犯人は桃田くんだよ。僕はここでその
Oh boy, are we closing argument already? Alright, so what do we have? Hit the Exisal. Exisal inside the hangar, only antidote Electro Bomb, Trail of Blood, so we don't have that one yet. Bonk the Exisal. Let's see, crossbow. Nope. So fight. Exisal inside the hangar. Alright. Was hit by the first arrow Maki fired. No. Was hit by the second arrow. The only antidote. After Maki left, what weapon did Kokichi take out? Electro Bomb? Who actually drank the antidote? Why was Kokichi dragged along the ground? Trail of blood? Evidence to, who's put in the hydraulic plugs? Evidence to cover leaving the bathroom. Actually drink it. Electro Bomb? Okay then. Drink the antidote. The culprit. Assemble the crossbow. That would be way back here. There we go. Culprit in the press. Kokichi in the press. Alright. Kokichi's clothes flushed down the toilet. Kokichi's right arm. First arrow. What? Ah. Weren't expecting that, were ya? Okay, no. That would be here. Kokichi's back goes here. And then this one is right here. Okay. Let's go over the trick that Kokichi and the culprit created together. Last night, Kibo saw Himiko from the window of his lab. She was carrying a black case and heading to the Exisal hangar. When she reached the hangar, she handed the case to someone through the bathroom window. That someone is the culprit of this case. Locked in the bathroom, the culprit had asked Himiko to bring him a certain weapon. A disassembled crossbow from Maki's lab. Culprit was going to use a crossbow to challenge Kokichi to a fight. Some time passed and Maki made her way to the hangar. She was going to go to the hangar to kill Kokichi and save the culprit trapped in the bathroom. However, the hangar had an electric barrier preventing her from entering. Fortunately for her, she had an electro hammer to get around the barrier in a way. She used her electro hammer to disable an Exisal and climbed inside. She knew Exisals could bypass the barrier, so she got inside one. At that time, the culprit and Kokichi began their confrontation. While Kokichi was checking up on them, the culprit ambushed him with the crossbow. The culprit didn't intend to kill Kokichi, they just wanted to disable him. That's why the culprit aimed for Kokichi's right arm. If they really wanted to kill him, they would have shot him in his vitals. Kokichi reeled from the arrow and the culprit jumped on him immediately. He didn't want Kokichi to have a chance to summon an Exisal with the remote. They were fighting, something happened that caught them both off guard. Shutter of the hangar opened and an Exisal stepped inside. Kokichi was definitely not expecting an Exisal to interrupt them. Eguisaru. He pulled out his remote in an attempt to control the Exisal. But Maki leaped out of the cockpit and shot Kokichi with her crossbow. The arrow hit Kokichi right in the back, and it was no normal arrow. The tip was covered in a lethal poison from my lab called Strike 9 poison. Poison kills slowly. It seems as if Maki wanted Kokichi to confess before he died. But even with the poison in his veins, Kokichi continued to spin his lies. When she had had enough, Maki tried to finish him off with another poisoned arrow. But this time Maki was the one caught by surprise. To keep Maki from becoming the Blackened, the culprit used their body to shield Kokichi. The culprit's left arm was struck by a poison arrow. Maki remembered there was an antidote in my lab and immediately ran off to get it. Strike 9 poison slowly circulated through their systems and would soon kill them both. But in that desperate situation, Kokichi thought up a clever lie. He incorporated this unforeseen event into his plan to help him win the killing game. Should I say help him defeat Monokuma? That was Kokichi's true objective, it's why he claimed to be the mastermind. Thinking fast, Kokichi closed the shutter so that Maki could not re-enter the hangar. Thus Kokichi's final lie was set into motion. When Maki returned with the antidote, she couldn't get back inside the hangar, so she went around to the hangar bathroom and passed the antidote through the window. But after the culprit was given the antidote, Kokichi immediately snatched it. Kokichi drank down all the antidote while the culprit and Maki watched in horror. Maki must have been panicking, thinking the only antidote was now gone. She believed that the culprit was going to die from her own poisoned arrow. It was all another one of Kokichi's lies. He had only pretended to drink the antidote. Maki tried desperately to break into the hangar, even slashing the control panel. But she couldn't get the shutter to open again. Defeated, she had no choice but to leave. After Maki had left, Kokichi took out another weapon. An electro bomb capable of disabling communication devices for 2 hours. Kokichi's plan was to use an electro bomb to knock out Monokuma's surveillance cameras. That was why he commissioned Miu to make the bombs in the first place. After detonating an electro bomb, Kokichi coerced the culprit into drinking the antidote. In exchange for the antidote, Kokichi asked the culprit to cooperate with his plan. Kokichi needed to work with the culprit to execute his final lie. Under normal circumstances, the culprit would never have agreed to such a plan. But because the culprit owed him for saving their life, they agreed to Kokichi's request. Request is a generous term, it was more like blackmail. In any case, the two were now working together as accomplices in an insane plan. There was a lot to prepare and not a lot of time. They had to work fast. If Kokichi died from the Strike 9 poison, the whole plan would be ruined. After fabricating the scene in the bathroom, the culprit dragged Kokichi to the hydraulic press. This is how the swipe pattern bloodstain from the bathroom to the press was created. Oh, so that's why it's all down his back, too. Kokichi, with the support of the culprit, stood in front of the press's control panel. The two of them were finally ready to execute the insane lie. While Kokichi was setting up the video camera near the hydraulic press's control panel, the culprit laid face up inside the press, draping the coat over their shoulders. Then Kokichi activated the press and the camera's record button at the same time. The hydraulic press came down slowly, all caught on tape for us to see. Normally the safety function would have triggered, but the electro bomb had disabled it. The press got lower and lower, and just as the culprit disappeared from view, Kokichi pressed the force stop and the camera's pause button simultaneously. And the two of them switched places and also switched roles. The culprit and the victim. The would-be victim became a culprit and started up the press and camera. Kokichi had saved the culprit's life because his trick required their cooperation. My eyes. He wanted to win the killing game, even if it meant dying himself. And so Kokichi was crushed by the press and the whole thing was caught on video. The culprit's left sleeve was dangling from the press, making us think he was the victim. Now alone, the culprit collected the video camera and tore the hydraulic press's power cord so it could never be raised again. This would make it impossible for us to determine the identity of the crushed body. There was another reason the victim was killed in this way. It obfuscated the cause of death, making the case that much more difficult to solve. This is all part of Kokichi's plan to create a murder not even Monokuma could figure out. With the press disabled, the culprit returned to the bathroom to flush Kokichi's clothes. Finally, they climbed inside an exisal to hide and waited with bated breath. And here they are now in this trial, pretending to be Kokichi, trying to deceive Monokuma in order to defeat the true mastermind. And that's it. That's Kokichi's unidentified culprit trick. The culprit is in that exisal. It's you, isn't it? Kaito Momota, the ultimate astronaut. Come on, just pop it open.
サイハラちゃんは本当ぶっ飛んだ推理が好きだよね。
まだ
Then just pop it open. Pop it open.
ただあの中まさかこの
Just pop it open. Pop it open.
っていうか辻
Pop it open. Open it.
プレス機が止まった瞬間に結局それってただの推理でだから裏の裏を書いて俺が死体の入れ替えなんてやらずにっていうか
Open it. Open it. Open it.
いえ犀原君の推理を信じましょう僕は
そうじゃな
ま別に君それより
Come on, just pop it
こ
open.
の後の投票タイムでもしモノクマが間違えるようなことがあれば当然みんな俺の勝利ってだけじゃなくて What'd be the point? Start the voting already.
分かったよただしご期待に添えなだって僕には
Oh no. One last conversation before we vote. See, before we vote, there's something I have to say. Just need you all to listen. Non-stop debate. Oh boy.
そろそろはっきりさせようか。
Alright, let's
あ
pin
の
this
エグ
down.
イサルの正体
Who
を。
is inside that exisal?
桃田くんですよね。
あんたがそう言ったんでしょ。
That's what he said,
死
isn't
んだ
it?
のは大間くんって
Kokichi's the one who died, and the culprit's Kaito, standing right
それ
there.
で合ってるんだよね
Isn't that correct?
間違ってるに決まってるじゃん。こ
Mhm.
の俺が死ぬわけないでしょ。
うちは犀原を信じるぞ
そろそろはっきりさせようか。あのエグイサルの正体を。
桃田くんですよね。
あんたがそう言ったんでしょ。
死んだのは大間くんって犯人はあそこにい
Are you
る
kidding
桃
me?
田くんだってそれで合ってるんだよね
間違ってるに
I
決
have
ま
to
って
lie
るじゃ
about
ん。
Kokichi's disappearance,
こ
right?
の俺が死ぬわけないでしょ。
うち
I
は
gotta lie
犀
about
原
his
を信じる
disappearance,
ぞ
don't I? Hmm. Yep.
くんって犯人はあそこにいる桃田くんだってそれだ
Yep. Come on. I got yeah.
あんたがそう言ったんで
死んだのは
There we go.
これで真実を暴く。
Yeah, I like the lying mechanic in this
大
game.
間くん。
I just can't
Comment.
lie for you anymore. What?
嘘って
What do you mean lie?
っていうか
Why'd you say Kokichi, the one in the exisal is... I've deceived you all. Huh?
実は
Truth is, after we found the crushed body, I saw Kokichi. Saw Kokichi?
僕は
Yes, he threatened me, told me that if I didn't do what he said, he'd kill us all.
僕の目
Wanted
撃
me to
証
lie
言があ
about
る
it,
と
what
犯人がすぐに
I
分か
saw
っ
so
て
that the trial would be more interesting.
でももう
I
限
can't
界だ
do it anymore. I can't keep lying like this. I have to tell the truth.
大間くんは死んでなんか
Kokichi
い
isn't
ない
dead, he's alive.
ちょっと待ってください。君どうしたんですか。
ごめん
Kaito is risking his life to do this, and I'll stand by him. Oh boy, this will be, Monokuma wants to rely on my detective work. Fine, I'll just lie.
だからみんな間違いない。あそこにいる。
ねえ犀原くんさっきも言ったよねお前
As
ら
far
を
as
お
I'm
まけ
concerned,
扱
you
いなん
guys
て
aren't extras
お
at
前
all.
らが間違えた
You
ら
guys are wrong. You're gonna have to take your punishments like champs. Got it?
僕は間違えてな。だからお願いだみんな。
もういいやめろ
Kaito.
もう終わりだ
Kaito, why? Why? Can I click?
もしてめえらが間違えてモノクマが正解しちまったら
Can I click?
てめえらがお仕置きってことになっちまうじゃねえかさすがにそんなことはだから
Okay then, Kaito.
やはり君だったんですね。
今まで騙してて悪かったな
My bad for tricking you guys. I'll explain everything.
その前に
But
投
before
票タイ
that,
ム
it's
だ
voting time. Alright, don't get it wrong. I'm definitely the culprit. You got it?
大間を殺したのはこの俺なんだよ
桃田くん
中一てめえのつうわけでてめえはてめえ
Ah,
おいモノクマ
ぷぷぷ白と黒の運命を分ける
see, I kinda called it
枠
though.
でドキドキの投票だ
Alrighty then. Where? Hmm.
だって投票が終わっ
Hmm. results. He voted for himself, too.
投票の結果、
Verdict. We are correct. See, Kaito was annoying in the beginning, but at the end he was good. We never actually did find out why he was, like, dying all the time. Unless he's gonna explain that here. Oh boy. No retries. 238 coins. Woo, boy. Only two Bs? Wow. Well, if the culprit's gonna confess, then I guess even morons can't screw this up. The blackened who killed Kokichi Oma is Kaito Momota. You all got it right. So you all got it right, huh? Even Shuichi Makiro voted for me. What a relief. Well, I knew you guys wouldn't get it wrong. Man, was it hard to act like Kokichi the whole time. I mean, sure, he wrote most of his own lines. Seriously, look at this huge script. He wrote the whole thing. It's even got a bunch of alternate lines for different events, too. Even so, I still had to ad-lib. You guys couldn't tell, though, huh? Yeah, come on, guys. Don't look so sad. You guys got it right. It's all good. Why did you kill Kokichi? You're against the killing game, so why did you kill him? I believe that you absolutely wouldn't do such a thing. Yeah, I should explain. Most of it's just like Shuichi said. After Kokichi pretended to take the antidote, he gave it to me. And he told me I had to cooperate with his plan. Plan? What plan? I've been thinking this whole time of the plan to throw the mastermind off guard. What are you talking about? You're the mastermind. Oh, that was a lie. I only pretended to be the mastermind. Pretended? You all fell for it, but, you know, I prepared a bunch of stuff, like this remote control. I had Miyu make it. Mysterious message in the courtyard using Gonta making him a murderer. All that preparation was just to make you guys think I was a mastermind. Why'd you do all that? The reason why I pretended to be the mastermind was to end this boring killing game. To end it? Thought if I showed you the despairing truth, you guys wouldn't want to go outside anymore. I thought it would end the killing game. Instead, this happened. I'm gonna die by Maki's hands. Why do you think this happened? Why do you think Maki tried to kill me? Why do you think the killing game started again? Because a true mastermind instigated it. I'm certain of it. I made a move without us noticing. Man, thanks to that, everything is ruined. True mastermind instigated it? So whoever that person is, they also instigated Maki's actions too? Yeah, they probably tried to eliminate me because I pretended to be the mastermind.
Huh?
Actions instigated by the true mastermind? The reason I decided to kill Kokichi because I remembered the truth from the flashback. Maybe making you remember the truth was what the mastermind wanted. Maybe the true mastermind had us use the flashback light so we'd target Kokichi as a remnant of despair. So the flashback light itself was the true mastermind's trap all along. He expected us to target Kokichi once we remembered he was a remnant of despair. Kokichi certainly expected it, that's why he talked about the true mastermind. But even so, this is all rather convenient for the true mastermind. The person claiming to be the mastermind just so happened to be a remnant of despair. We're all students of Hope's Peak Academy and our fates are tied to the remnants of despair. Never would have imagined the fate would bring us to Kokichi's murder. Just plays too nicely for the true mastermind. I don't know about that flashback light, guess that's another mystery for you. Anyway, like I was saying, and who is this true mastermind? Who knows? I don't know either. It doesn't matter, we can't lose. The game's pointless unless you win. So I thought of a special plan. When I'm on the verge of losing, my plan will help me win. I don't really get it, but is this the plan to throw off the mastermind? Well, it's not that difficult. Kaito, I need you to kill me. What? Plan was to make a case where the victim was unknown, and then to trick Monokuma into thinking I was the victim so he'd mess up. If he ruled that either Makiro or Kokichi were the blackened, then I'd show myself and Monokuma's ruling would be invalid. And if Monokuma's ruling was invalid, then the killing game would end. That's what I'm most curious about. What makes you think it would end? I asked Kokichi about that myself. Why would Monokuma care if he messed up on who the blackened was? This is what he said. Even if it's Monokuma or the true mastermind, they can't break the rules as they please. Being unfair like that isn't allowed. What do you mean? Death games are meant to be watched. If no one's watching, there would be no reason to be such a stickler about the rules. There'd be no point in making this a game in the first place. Monokuma's been a stickler about the rules, about making the game interesting. That's why I agreed to my plan in the virtual world, which means Monokuma is aware that someone is watching us. In which case, I have no doubt that this death game is being shown to someone. So this is some kind of show? But who'd be watching? We're the only people left alive, aren't we? That's right, the flashback light is the reason we even remember that. But Kokichi might have been right. Why have a death game if no one's watching? Wasn't sure about it at first, but after the class trial, there's no doubt. Monokuma can't do whatever he wants, he's bound by the rules of the game. That's why he couldn't afford to get the culprit wrong, why he relied on Shuichi. It's just like Kokichi said, if this game's rules matter so much, someone's watching. Death game is made to be watched. If that's true, then who? Who is watching this? What's this all about, Monokuma? Is this killing game really a show for someone? Who can say? Why wouldn't you tell us? We were friends during the trial. Honestly, I was just happy you guys cooperated with me. Humans love to help. They jump at any opportunity to extend a helping hand. And here's another question. Who are you really? If Kokichi, a remnant of despair, is not the mastermind, then who's a true mastermind? Is it another remnant of despair like him? I'm not gonna spill the beans on a perfect to-be-continued cliffhanger like that. I understand Kokichi's plan, but why did you agree to work with him, Kaito? Why did you agree to kill Kokichi? Because he saved your life? You should have just ignored him. He's better off dead anyway. It's kinda hard to ignore such an annoying guy. What? I wonder how far ahead he planned this evil scheme of his. Yeah, but killing you. What are you talking about? You want me to kill you? I figured you'd react like that, but are you sure you're okay with that? Because if this poison kills me, then Maki would become the Blackened, and her crime would be exposed so easily. If that happened, then Maki and I would have died for no reason, right? Which is just what the true mastermind expects. That's plain dirty. So that's why you gave me the antidote. I am the ultimate supreme leader. There are no deaths I won't sing to, even if I have to sacrifice myself. Anyway, this is our chance to end this killing game. That's why you have to kill me, so we can win and ruin this killing game. Bring the true mastermind and everyone who's watching. We'll bring them down to utter despair. And everyone who died can rest in peace. Ah, crap, I'm gonna die soon. Can we get this started already? You're seriously crazy, dude. You know, that wasn't boring, right? Man, I'm conflicted because I still don't like him for Chapter 4. He blackmailed you by using me? No, I agreed to his plan once I heard the words, ruin this killing game. It was crazy, but that let him come up with some crazy plans, and we needed a crazy plan in order to stand a chance against Monokuma. Bet on that chance. I didn't have any other choice, because I'm out of time. Kaito, you mean your health? You said you were fine. You told me not to worry about it anymore. Oh, my bad. That was a lie. A lie? Yeah, it's pretty bad. Honestly, I'm at my limit just talking. I gotta wonder how this happened. I don't remember at all. My memories, I was fine during the medical exam for my training. This might be the virus. Virus? One of the plagues that caused our planet to crumble. Virus carried by meteorites that spread across the globe. Hope's Peak Academy, along with the rest of the planet, was in danger of extinction. Even though we had come so far and triumphed over so much despair, we were almost wiped out in an instant. This must have something to do with the virus. Kaito didn't use that flashback light, so he might not remember it. Weren't we supposed to be immune? We were selected because we didn't. Perhaps the virus was dormant when you were selected for the Gopher Project. Could have been infected the whole time, showing no symptoms until very recently. What? Kaito is infected with a virus, but how could that be? I don't know what you're talking about, but I guess I'm pretty screwed, huh? Well, I knew this was coming, that's why I agreed to Kokichi's plan. You know, when I found out about the plan, I thought it was pretty awesome. Kokichi left me a whole outline of it. I freaked out when I read it. It's a pretty good plan. I thought we might be able to trick Monokuma. But I know Shuichi'd see right through it in the end. What? That's exactly how it went. Nice job, Shuichi. You're really something. Kaito, did you... Yeah, I know you guys would figure everything out. So I was able to get on board with Kokichi and lie to you like that. Even if I messed stuff up during the trial, I know Shuichi'd see the truth. Just what I'd expect from my sidekick. If you knew I'd see through, why? If you knew it was pointless from the start, then you shouldn't have gone that far. No, it wasn't pointless. It ended up being a huge success. As I was playing and Kokichi pretending to be the mastermind, we got closer to the true mastermind's lair. And this truth, there's got to be a hint that leads to the real truth. Yeah, no doubt. That's why Kokichi gave his life. You talk as if he was your partner when you hated him so strongly before. Oh, I hate his guts. Honestly, I'm still ticked off at him. Made us go through so much crap to the end. No, even beyond that. He's a lying sack of crap. It's getting hard to breathe, so please, can I ask you one thing? You want to ruin this killing game, but you kept saying how fun this game was. Instant despair, that was a lie, obviously. How could a game that you're forced to play be fun? I had to think this game was fun to survive. I had to lie to myself. Little people who created this game to toy with their lives and the turds enjoying it, they all tick me off. That's why I'm willing to do whatever it takes to end this game. Kokichi said that?
Yeah.
Could have been a lie too. He probably just said it so I'd cooperate with him. I think his dying words might have been the honest truth. I wonder which one it is. Truth is in the eye of the beholder, huh? Kokichi was a very embodiment of a lie. That's kind of sad. Pretty much wraps up my explanation. Now finally, I need to apologize to Shuichi. Me? To be honest, I was jealous of you. Jealous? Because you were always saving us, you know? Your detective skills kept us alive. You were just way too cool and I got frustrated. So that's why I was so harsh on you. My bad. Kaito, no, that's not true. I was only so confident because you were there for me, Kaito. When you made me psychic, you said that you'd take the responsibility, and that's why I can do all this. You didn't talk to me back then, even now, I mean. I'm about to die. You sure are, bucko. It's punishment time. Oh, you planning to get in my way? You know what'll happen if you do that, don't you? No, stop. No, Kaito, I can't let you die, Kaito. Can I click, please? When a life ends, those closest to it mourn, but if you could somehow recycle that life. Can I click, please? Then those closest to it wouldn't need to mourn anymore, right? If you could recycle life, the world would be filled with hope. That's my point. Alright, kids, time for your grand re-entrance. No shot. What? Huh? Huh? Why are the mono cubs back? Huh? Finding other. So I guess what? You know what else this means? Now that the mono cubs are back, I've got my ex's whole entourage protecting me again. Still wanted to find me now? I'm not controlling the last electro bomber crushed in the press. Wait, he had another. Huh? Oh, it's cute. What's your enemy? Before you hated yourself so much, you didn't even like yourself a little. Wasn't that the reason you tried to distance yourself from others? You decided that you didn't deserve to have friends, didn't you? That was your enemy. Not anymore, right? You're alright now. You fell for a guy like me, now you can learn to like yourself. Hey, don't cry. Can't you send me off with one last smile?
信じてるぜ
You guys too. I'm not gonna allow any tears. Send me off with a bang. Alright, Kaito, I won't cry.
我慢じゃ
You're already starting to cry.
僕は
You can't cry even if I wanted to. So I'm out of the way, Monokuma. You can go ahead and start now.
チンポーン
おい覚悟して
Better
おけ
get
よ
ready. My friends aren't gonna lose to you. That's all. I'll leave the rest of you guys end this ridiculous killing game.
周一
Mm-hmm.
やり遂げちまえば可能にか
So we know there's other people alive.
ごめん。
おうし宇宙に轟く桃田カイトだぜ
はいはい
覚悟しておけよ
お仕置き
A shock time. All right. It's gonna be something to do with space, like a rocket. Hopefully, it's more interesting than what's her name from the second game. Hey, wait a minute. This is from the first game. That's a classroom from the first game. Yeah, this is from the first game. Blast off second ignition. That's the rocket from the first game. Okay then. Oh, I guess he's not going to space already then. Spicy. Spicy dirt. Oh, water? Huh? Oh, he just drilled straight through the whole earth. Okay then. Error confirmed. Oh, he's already dead in there. Execution failed. Huh? So, what's that mean for Monokuma? Kibo, are you okay? You got hit by that debris when you
Yeah.
I'm fine, more importantly.
ぐぐぐぐ
おい
Doesn't matter, Monokuma. Upset that Kaito won? What do you mean Kaito won?
だって
You died before the end of your punishment. Kaito didn't die from your execution. That's right, Kaito wasn't killed by you. It's Kaito's victory. Eh,
ぐぐ
I
ぐ
don't know if he meant to do it, but he certainly went out with a stubborn donkey. Well, whatever, it's not like this is the end of the killing game, so it's fine. You know, written in the school regulations, a killing game will go on until there's just one blackened or two spotless. Wait, that's not what they said before. The only reason you want rules is because you're showing this to someone. I just want an entertaining killing game, but you're certainly entitled to your opinion.
違う
It's enough. Enough of your bullcrap, Monokuma. I made a promise to Kaito. I will end this killing game. And I will give Kaito's death meaning. I swear I will keep my promise. Yeah, we're not gonna let anyone else die. Who's even gonna play that game anymore? It's already over. Could cut this tension with a knife. What's everyone talking about anyway? Looks like we stumbled into the last act. I don't know what's happening at all. Yo, Pops, fill us in. We want to help you out.
かわいいなそうはそうは
Nah.
我が子たちよ
Hmm. Alright. What is going on with Kibo? Why did I stay behind? Because I want to give you a reward for working so hard.
いいだいいだ
By the way, I don't know where you got the idea that this killing game can be stopped. There's nothing a participant can do to end this killing game. This game is gonna keep going and going for a long time. A flashback light? Okay then.
Huh?
Is that a flashback light just now? I don't feel like I remembered anything. This flashback light has a special effect. You'll remember soon enough. You'll remember that despair is the only choice you have. That hope doesn't exist here at all. The killing game will never end. Alright, what did Shuichi see? After all that, I honestly don't remember how we got back. Took all I had just to accept the reality that Kaito was gone. Not just Kaito, Kokichi too. Someone we all trusted and someone none of us trusted. We lost them both. It wasn't all for nothing, because we're drawing ever closer to discovering the true mastermind. No shot. No shot. No shot. Later that night, I found myself standing in the one spot in the courtyard, the place where Kaito and I would train together. My heart felt crushed, all the loss and guilt and helplessness sinking to my chest. But I stood there. What are you doing? Boing. Oh, Maki. So you came too. Yeah. Maki, I'm sorry, for what? I was the one who drove Kaito into a corner. Just like Kaede, I ended up betraying everyone important to me. It's all my fault. That's not betrayal. Feeling lonely? You're lonely now that Kaito is gone? Yeah, lonely. Just so lonely and so sad, I don't know what to do. And the reason I'm still alive right now is because of Kaito. If he hadn't been my friend, I would be... Me too. Can't remember the last time I ever cried that hard. Wonder how long it's been. I won't cry anymore. Sad, but I'm grateful to Kaito. Grateful? Yeah, I want to tell him that rather than being sad or lonely. I'm grateful to him. That's why I won't cry anymore. I'm not going to wallow in pity. I have been seeing all the Amogus eyes, the Amogus crying eyes, and I'm disappointed that that works. I want to show him how much I appreciate all the things he did. Yeah, I guess it's the same for me. I want to show my appreciation too. Sure that our friends who've passed on don't want to see us miserable. Thanks. Yeah. Oh, so you guys are here after all. Just like I thought. You guys would be here because I cast a spell to find you. It's me, Himiko. If you don't mind, can we join you in your training? Wait, so Shuichi and Kibo are the only guys left. The only dudes left. Anyways. Train you all from the ground up so we can end this killing game together. We're going to end this together. Himiko and I promised Kaito. Yeah, we're gonna do what we promised and work together to end this killing game. Can't afford to lose to despair. Yeah, absolutely. Monokuma said there's no hope anywhere, but he's wrong, there is hope. My friends are my hope. Kaito said it best, I'm not alone. That's right, I have friends. Not just my friends here, but also friends who have died. They all gave us their hope too, that's why I'm going to live. I'm going to live for everyone who died. Despair cannot defeat me, I will hold on and survive no matter what. Thank you, Kaito. Alrighty then. Save point? Oh, by the way. What happened to Kibo? Do you know where he went? Kibo? I don't know. What's that guy off doing? I don't think a robot really needs to do any training. The rest of us are here. I kinda wish he'd come too. Quiet. Too quiet. And yet this silence is quite refreshing. I used to hear my inner voice with perfect clarity. It would fill me with the power of hope, guide me along the right path. I can't hear it anymore. All I hear now is silence. That silence means my will is not my own. Even if despair is all we have to choose, even if hope no longer exists, I will never give in to despair. I will end this. No matter what, I will force this to end. This school, the ultimate academy for gifted juveniles, is steeped in despair. Oh, was his Ahoge his limiter? Was his Excuse me? Kiba, what the heck? I thought he didn't have any weapon functions. Kiba, what the heck? Huh? What? Well, I guess we're gonna find this out next week. 'Cause that's that's dumb. Anyways, I guess we'll, like, I don't know if there's like a full day's investigation trial coming up, but there is another chapter apparently. We will finish this next week. If there's a full, I don't think it's gonna be day's investigation trial. Actually, you know what? Let me just real quick look. See, like, how long is Danganronpa V3 Chapter 6? How long is it? Try to see. Okay, so there is a class trial. Yeah, so we will continue this next week, Monday. 日本語だけの Apex。アメリカの月曜日は日本語だけの Apex. So Monday will be Japanese only Apex. Once I finish Danganronpa V3, Mondays I'm gonna cut out so I can get my VODs uploaded to YouTube, and then I'm gonna be switching to automatic YouTube VOD uploading. Yeah. So, what else? There's let's see. There is, what was I gonna say? And then Apex again on Wednesday. That'll be normal Apex probably with my sister. Friday we'll be finishing up Danganronpa V3. After Danganronpa V3, what do I have coming up? That's not the right one. Upcoming. So, a game that I had actually intended to come back to streaming with was Shadow the Tomb Raider. And I say coming back to streaming, I mean, this was like, I don't know. I want to say, so I started consistently streaming for any period of time back in August last year. From August to October last year, I started streaming consistently, and then for whatever reason, I decided, you know what, let's just take a 3-month break. I don't remember why. But I had originally intended to come back to stream because I did a little bit of streaming like a couple years prior. I'd intended to come back playing Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I played the other two in the new trilogy. I say new like it's recent, but I mean it's more recent than the other Tomb Raider games. So we'll be playing Shadow of the Tomb Raider and then going through Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal, which will be a return for me. And then the Resident Evil games. Yeah, and then if you use the command exclamation point Discord. You can join my Discord and have a look at the upcoming channel to see what all I have in my to stream category on Steam. They're just arranged alphabetically right now. And yeah. So yeah, have a good night, everybody. I will see you all in the next stream. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna try raiding somebody. Who all is alive that I can... Like, where can I send you guys? Whomst to raid? Because I feel like I should raid a small channel, even if I'm even if I'm not. Oh yeah, let's raid Core, because I haven't hung out with Core in a while. So she is currently playing Phasmo. So yeah, let's raid Core. Alrighty then, have a good night, everybody. Yeah, so we just gotta wait for that raid to start. Let's go.